Y'all enjoy that? Okay, well, so did they, because there's still 3 CAV sides ahead, and we're one ganked aspect ratio away from defeat. Sure, when Ryan roped that big lot, part of me cheered, but guys, I've been there. I know how you feel. I wanted to cream that jerk that sold me a rotted copy of Slugs, and I really, really wanted to go after Tim Cummings for that boat accident thing. But you know what? My Slugs is still kind of watchable, and if I become someone I'm not, if I sink to their level, well, then I've lost more than my Slugs. We're not hipsters. We're not dirt jabronis. No matter what people say or do, we have to be ourselves. We're Team Wolfpack, gathered from all across the globe, and we're going to stick together. You know why? Because we are wolves, and wolves fly together. And when everyone says it can't be done, wolves fly together.
LaserDisc Wolfpack.
What's going on, everybody? I am Sam Culturedog Hatch, and welcome back to another LaserDisc Wolfpack THX CAV Special Limited Edition podcast, this time with sporting activity. See, we look like nerds, but we actually go out and we do activities. Sometimes. I'm going to pass it on to the man who eats Slayton and craps thunder, Ryan Cushing.
Thank you, Sam. Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Noon Whistle, Gummy Apocalypse, Northeast India Pale Ale. And with that, I'll pass you on to Luke.
What? I'm halfway through my Pliny the Elder, so let's do this. Feeling good. Let's go. Whoever's next.
I think Max.
Maxeene, the Lasers Queen, feeling like Sporty Spice over here.
Nice.
With Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. A very Dr. Peppery version of Dr. Pepper.
I like it.
Pass it off to Trevor. Welcome back.
And
Back.
with my return, we bring back the OG sponsor. We're sponsored by Faygo Firework, the hard to find, delicious bomb-popping flavored drink.
Just in time for the end of summer.
Oh yeah, by the time this is edited, it should be out by next summer. So
Yeah, we should be right in time for July. Yeah.
But I make my return and pass it back on over to Sam and get this thing started.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, man. I am sponsored by, as always, oh wait, Kyler Wren's got the night off. It's Wellesley Farms bottled water. But tonight, it's the only water I can find nearby. All right, so we're gonna get sporting. We still doing the 2 thing, Ryan? You want to do the 2 discs?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. This time we're gonna do we have to come up with some sort of concept, and this time it's non-baseball sports LDs, because everybody's got a baseball movie they love, The Natural or Field of Screams or whatever the hell. Screw all that. Kick it all to the curb. We're doing non-baseball. So, all right. So I got 2, but I've moved, and my discs are all in these tubs, and I have no idea. I did look to see if the ones I was talking about, if they were on the top tubs. They were not on the top tubs, and much like my buddy Trevor, I don't like lifting tubs around all the time. So I decided to take the easy way out. I'm going to put a fancy graphic on my screen, and you can imagine that they're there for you. All right. So two movies I'm going to talk about. First is shout out to Vinny. I'm going to go with The Big Blue, aka Le Grand Bleu, which is a Luc Besson movie about free diving and championship diving. And in particular, 2 guys based on real divers, Jacques Mayol and Enzo Mallorca, with a retitled, played by Jean-Marc Barr and Jean Reno, the professional himself. And it's somewhat fictionalized because things happen to these characters that didn't happen to the real characters. But it's all about intensity and this guy who's pretty much a fish out of water in the human world. He's like much more comfortable underwater and hanging out with dolphins. And he meets what's her face there, Rosanna Arquette, and she is really into him, and he's more into trying to kill himself by diving farther and farther underwater and seeing how far he can push himself and hanging out with dolphins and stealing dolphins and setting them free and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's a cool movie. There's two versions. There's the US version, which is a lot shorter, and it has the Bill Conti music, which Vinny and myself like. And then there's the original version with Eric Serra, who does all the Luc Besson stuff like Fifth Element and The Professional, etc. He does the music, but yeah, it's really gorgeous, widescreen, 2.35:1. Like starts off black and white, beautiful stuff, and then showing these characters as their kids running around in Greece and getting into all sorts of adventures. And then as they get older, they split up. The guy that meets Rosanna Arquette goes to Peru, and he's up in the Andes, like trying to learn about the human body's ability to slow down your heartbeat and make you able to dive deeper. And then Jean Reno's character is kind of this huckster guy who's like selling himself out to save divers that have gotten trapped into wrecks and stuff like that. But it's about this brotherhood, these two guys that kind of love each other, and Jean Reno in particular just can't deal with not competing against this other guy, so he keeps trying to get him back into competitive diving. And so really exciting, great, gorgeous underwater shots and lots of intensity, and it's a little bit sad at times, but it's also goofy and fun. So there's a longer cut that's available. I think the Japanese version there's two Japanese versions, one French only, one with like a white border that has English and French. And but unfortunately, I think they're all taken from a PAL transfer, so they're like a little sped up. I have a PAL copy too, just cause. And just check it out if you like Luc Besson movies, or if you like guys in Speedos or dolphins. Check that out.
Old.
Next up is the best sports movie of all time, Norman Jewison's Rollerball. Sci-fi film about a sport that doesn't exist with James Caan. But much like basketball, the sport is so fleshed out thank you, Ryan. The sport is so fleshed out in the story that it really doesn't matter it's a fictional sport, because they've come up with all the rules, and it's like delivered totally believable. But it's great on so many levels because it's a fantastic like dystopian sci-fi film. It's a cool like roller derby mixed with bikes and studs and stuff like that. So it's a real kind of punk rock action movie with James Caan, who's just the most badass dude. I remember when I was a kid, like I didn't really think James Caan was that exciting, and then watching Thief and Rollerball, I'm like, damn, James Caan was a badass. Like, don't mess with that dude. And he plays this guy Jonathan E, who's the top player in Rollerball, and it's just so brutal and nasty. And he's from a team in Houston, Texas, and they're going around playing all these games against other places, other country. They go to Tokyo eventually, and everything's in this world where corporate society has taken over, and there was these corporate wars, and so it's everything's decided for you, and you have like arranged relationships with people, and his was torn apart, and he's starting to become a little bit cynical about it. And he's supposed to be just this dumb ball player, but he's starting to ask a lot of questions, and that's not going over too well. There's also a great bit like in the middle of the movie where it's pretty much like championing physical media, because he goes to the one and only repository of the world's history, and it's just this computer, and the computer's slowly going insane and losing chunks of time and history, and nobody cares because there's only one dude who's there as the shepherd of this computer. And the one guy, he actually like has this like hatred of the computer, so he's always like yelling at it and taunting it, and really, really bizarre stuff. So good. But I mean, the action scenes are great, and they keep stacking the deck against this dude, and you can't stop James Caan, man. Jonathan E is going to keep going. So many great quotes. My band used to use like tons of rollerball quotes in our like intro music all the time. And there's a great scene where people at a party go outside and they just shoot flames that make trees explode. That's the fun of the future. You just go out, have some drinks, and blow up a bunch of trees. So
Wasn't it like a laser gun or something?
yeah, it's just like this.
Dang.
Yeah, it's kind of like the gun from Logan's Run, where you like point and then like an explosion happens like far away. Like yeah.
Is this the prequel to the LL Cool J one?
Yes.
Yeah, there is some sort of a connection there. Yeah, I don't recommend grabbing that one. I mean, for LL Cool J, of course, because he's the man. But
It's got Paul Heyman and Shane McMahon too.
yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon complete.
I'll put it on the low shelf in the back somewhere, maybe. So what do you got for your 2 movies, Ryan?
Well, you took Rollerball.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. It is the best sports movie of all time.
It's like it was going to be my number 2. I've got one ahead of it, but
Okay.
It kind of starts out like a slow burn. Like, all right, you can see that the corporations are bad, but how's he going to take them down?
Yeah.
And he's just a badass. And
Dude.
you get to the last match and the rules are gone. There's no substitutions, like just everything, and he doesn't care. Just
Moon
goes
Pie's
out,
cool too. I like his buddy
hatches
there.
a plan, and he walks off or kind of does his victory lap and off, and it was just great. And that's it. Like good ending. No BS afterwards. Also, which I didn't need to know what was happening 6 months from the end of it. Didn't care.
Yeah.
He left a badass. The whole world was cheering for him. Who cares?
Yep.
My number 1 involves Psych Outs and maybe Steve Barry.
Steve Barry.
Nice.
It is not baseball, barely, but basketball. It's
great.
Does everything. It's so ridiculously funny. The cast is stacked. The cameos, everything about it. It's just so fun. And anytime that you can psych somebody out with Steve Barry, I mean, that's kind of the way to go. So just really solid story, little redemption story, all of that. And nice use of product placement like Lazy Boy and things like that. So,
hey, Ryan.
Yes.
I heard your sister was having sex with Spencer.
Ooh.
So much good stuff. Little Bitch is great.
If you guys make fun of me 13 or 14 more times. Okay. Anyways, so those were my 2, and I have 1 that I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah, throw it in.
This North Dallas 40.
Thinker.
It's just boring. Like there's like one football sequence and then like a gym practice sequence, and Nolte's character is just like taking like injections, and like they're all just beating themselves to hell, and like it's not happy at any point. It's not funny. I thought I'd at least laugh, and I'm like, man, this is like way too deep for like what looks like a comedy. So
Wow.
Plus the pan and scan, even though it was sealed, is rotted. So it'll make good packing material. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot my hated one. I already forgot. It's been so long. I forgot the whole concept.
Make
It's
one
fine.
up right now.
Yeah. You got one you don't like?
Hold
I
up a
don't know.
pretend one. Just
They're all baseball movies with Kevin Costner.
Whoa.
So I'm trying to think of a non-baseball one. But yeah, I don't know. I'll think later. What do you got, Luke?
all right. So I'm not going to talk about this one, even though I hope someone else does. Trevor. But I love that movie. And I know I said before that this one doesn't count, but I don't care. I love it. I'm talking about The Big Lebowski. Like, this is such a great movie. I saw this movie in the theater when everyone else didn't. People, I was went back to school and like, hey, have you seen Big Lebowski? It's so great. And then they all went to their college dorm rooms and got high and watched The Big Lebowski and thought it was amazing. But I have a special fondness, which I think most people do, of this movie. Insanely quotable. But also this disc. Like, if you're a LaserDisc collector, you should own this disc. I mean, it's a good one.
Got lots of bowling in it.
Say what?
Lots of bowling in it.
So Donnie does bowl. Okay.
It
So,
counts. No, it counts.
Yeah.
but of course, everybody knows the dude never bowls in the movie. He never touches the bowling ball. Anyway, all right, next one. This one is I was born in 1980, grew up in the 80s, late 80s, 90s. This movie was a staple. Like, this is one you watched all the time. This is, of course, the movie Champions. Everyone knows the movie Champions, right?
I might have quoted from that earlier in the episode.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
what? I totally knew that. I totally knew that when you did that.
Is Treat Williams in that?
Say what?
Is Treat Williams in that?
You better be.
Of course.
Isn't he the coach?
Treat right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Treat.
Treat Estevez.
Yeah. I love this movie. I've probably watched it a million times. Probably, of course, Mighty Ducks is the name of it. And I have a fondness for any movie that came out in Japan with a different title. I think it's fun. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but
Gorilla.
Captain Super.
oh yeah, there you go. Gorilla. Yeah.
Yep. Captain Supermarket. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
King of Harley.
King of Harley. Yeah. That's a good one.
But yeah, favorite.
Gordon Bombay is a really, really redeemable character too. Like,
he is, though. He's got an arc.
he's got an arc, but it's rough compared to modern standards. I will give you that. Like, it just, I mean, I grew up watching it too, but yeah, he's terrible the entire way through. Like, I mean,
the entire way. Like, he goes back to his German skate master or whatever, and he's like, "Oh wait, I love hockey. Oh, I forgot, I love that." Then I don't know. I never thought of him as
sleeps with the kid's mom.
Say what?
Doesn't he sleep with the kid's mom? Like,
does he?
One of the-
Multiple.
Anyway, I don't remember that.
Wolves fly together, man.
There you go. Last one. This is a movie that I don't like. I can't tell you why I don't like it, but I remember that I watched it and I didn't like it. And this goes out to Vinny, of course. It's Raging Bull.
Ooh, Vinny cut.
He's
Shots
just
fired.
like I said. I remember watching it, and it's like, he's a horrible person. Why am I spending time with a horrible person? Like, I don't want to spend time with horrible people in my real life. Why would I want to watch a movie about someone like that? So, yeah, didn't like it. That's it.
Okay, if it's like Portrait of a Serial Killer, I'll watch that.
Because you're a psychopath.
Yeah. But I mean, at least he's doing cool things, unlike Raging
Right.
Bull. Yeah.
Right. But even like man bites dog. He's a terrible person.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, no, thank you. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. So I forgot I was doing the podcast this morning. Anyway, that's what I got. That's what I got for you. There you go.
I like it.
What do you got?
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Bloodsport.
Oh yeah.
With the good cover.
Is that a sport?
Kumite.
Is it a
Kumite and
that's based on a true story.
this
Yep.
is, I mean, this takes skill right here.
Yeah.
It's a competition. That's
I could
legit.
do that if
It's
I
a
wanted to.
legit competition.
Yep.
And it's just, I mean, this movie, if you have not seen this movie, you're living under a rock, because this is one of the best things. I've watched this a gazillion times. I love this freaking movie so much. I love Ray Jackson. I just love that entire character.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love the ridiculous reporter who just like, what's going on here? Like the whole time, and like, oh, don't die, even though I just met you. Like,
Yep.
it's just, oh my gosh, she's ridiculous. And then the freaking montage scenes, just, oh my gosh.
It was the 80s. You had to have a montage.
You have to have a montage, but the montage in this is like, I feel like the music is just like, fight to survive. Like, it's so, ooh, it's rocking. It's
Bolo
so
Young
good.
in there. Ugh.
Yeah, Bolo is just crushing it. I love
Bolo's
it.
a badass.
He's a badass in this. But freaking Van Damme really, like, I mean, just like legendary fight scenes, all of it is so good. I mean, hands down, worth it.
It's so fun, too. Like, you
So-
put that on late at night, you're going to have a good night.
Kumite, kumite.
So I have never seen Kickboxer. Remember that guy that posted recently? Is it? Should I?
Watch it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it completely different than Bloodsport, or about the same?
It's
like a
kickboxing.
cousin.
Not
I'd say it's a
okay.
cousin. But the dancing of Van Damme in that movie alone, like you
Kickboxer?
have to experience that. Like you
Yeah.
have to.
He's got moves.
He's got moves, and he's
And it
supposed
comes out of nowhere.
it comes completely out of nowhere.
Yep.
I'm not going to spoil it for you. You have to go watch that one for sure. 100%. If you liked Bloodsport, I think you will definitely enjoy Kickboxer.
But it's pretty close.
It's a
No.
cousin. Like, is your
Distant
cousin,
cousin?
same as you?
Cousin?
Is your cousin your twin? No. It's your cousin. Similar.
Yeah.
Not the same.
But different.
Unique
Yeah.
stories, definitely.
Cousin's a jerk, though. Sorry,
Well,
I've been
on
drunk.
that note,
Ah,
Nice.
I love this movie so much. I've watched this like when I was a kid. I've watched this a gazillion times since. I love Seth Green. This has pretty much one of the first times that I was like, love Seth Green. And this is just one of the, just this like, again, a great montage. Yes. Yes. The Japanese cover is really good too. But I do
I know.
love
I like Max's cover better.
Yeah.
in the air. I love the clouds. It's a
Yeah.
good shade of LaserDisc blue as well.
Exactly.
So God. But he's just like, he's basically from California. So warms my heart there. And he's all into rollerblading and surfing. But it's like surfing's like his first love. And he goes to freaking Cincinnati. And he's so mad he's in Cincinnati that he keeps like thinking about all the freaking waves in California. And then one day his freaking rollerblades show up on the doorstep in Cincinnati. He's like, oh yeah, I know how to rollerblade. And then it's like he's freaking all into rollerblading. And then it's like the best freaking battle rollerblade scene of just like bombing down hills and just like it's and then but really the fashion montage scene with Seth Green is legendary.
Is it competition fashion?
No, it's just like they're going
Just
on
for
a
fun?
double date. They're going on a double date. Like him and Seth Green are going on a double date because Seth Green's his cousin. And so oh my gosh, he just doesn't know like who like to be, and he's just like putting on all these outfits, and it's the I'm too sexy for my shirt, and it's just freaking Seth Green in the montage, just like putting a million outfits on, and this guy is just like, what is going on? Like,
Sounds awesome.
it's great. It's my favorite part of the whole movie. Besides, obviously, the end rollerblading pit is like legend, but yeah, this is definitely worth seeking out. It's getting a little bit harder to come by. Didn't used to be as much, but
I think Trevor was a professional rollerblader in the 90s.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's one right now.
I played roller hockey, but I played goalie, so I didn't have to skate. So
Ah,
there you
good.
go.
Yeah, good call.
So my not the best movie in the entire world choice.
Yeah.
That
Why
movie's
this
awesome.
is not a better movie? Like this
Yeah.
cast, this cast had all the potential in the world. Like, why was
Heather,
this? Because,
is it Heather Graham? Who's that?
no, it's freaking Uma Thurman
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
and like Robert Downey. It's just like
It just never connected.
It's just yeah.
Bad
it's,
script.
It
Yeah.
just
I loved
yeah.
it.
It's just a miss. in a
Trevor's
lot
the
of
one that loved
places.
it.
I don't hate this movie, but it was like it was hard for me to get through, and I was like feeling that the whole time. I was like, I want to like this more. There's so many like weird fashion choices of freaking Anthony Michael Hall and just like all of
Yeah.
these weird things. But it's like, why are you a football player? That's what I kept coming back to. Is like,
Yeah.
this guy,
Yeah.
this guy. He's the football star. Him, like terrible casting. Like.
Yeah, it's funny. Like Anthony Michael Hall now is kind of like a more imposing looking dude, like as he's gotten
Yeah.
older. But back then, no.
No. And after he had just done like all the movies that everyone knows him as
Yeah,
being
yeah.
like the nerdy type, like he's trying to obviously fight that
Go against type. Yeah.
typecasting. But I mean, kind of wasn't working there. Like him and like the one with oh now I'm gonna totally blank on her name, but it's and I'm blanking on the whole thing. He's running around in LA and he's with
Out of bounds.
Jenny, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to be like he dyes his hair and that he tries
Yeah.
to be all cool and like I feel like that was kind of the beginning of him trying to get out of that. But just
Yep.
football player, like it's not believable.
And that
Like,
wasn't. He was a jock in Edward Scissorhands too.
That was good, though.
he was trying. He was trying.
Yeah, but he was just like a small part of it. So
What do you got, Trevor?
Oh, so I actually should have just pulled out No Holds Barred, but I didn't. I actually
But
chose
boo.
2 sports movies. So, Luke, you missed your shot.
God damn.
But same thing. I was unable to get my discs out, but through the power of CGI, I managed to get them.
Nice.
Slap shot.
I was waiting for someone to bring this one up.
Nice.
This is like a staple. This is an amazing hockey movie. This is like made in the 70s. So, like, my family, we all loved hockey. So I've been watching this one since I was a kid. But you got Paul Newman in there as the coach, Charlestown Chiefs. You get the Hanson brothers brought in.
Hanson brothers are great.
Yeah, and then they managed to continue making these into part 2 and part 3, and you can skip all those, but you need to watch part 1. So if you've never seen this, you're living under a rock. So
It's got Sheriff Truman from Twin Peaks.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh.
You want the 80s pan and scan, right? Because the 90s reissue, they didn't have music rights.
Something like that.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
just-
I was told. It's like there's Disco Vision, there's the 80s one, Disco Vision you don't want. And then the newest one looks the best, but like I said, the music rights are wrong in it.
But is it good music that you're missing out on?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good.
All right.
Now this one, if you want music, this one is perfect. And we're going Laser
yeah.
Quest.
Ooh.
Good choice.
Loudon Swain trying to get down to 168 pounds to take on the shoot. And I just watched this the other day, and it's just as good. And if you go soundtracks, I didn't remember how good the soundtrack was on it till I watched it. It's got Dio and Journey and was it Red Rider or
Oh, nice.
the Lunatic Fringe?
Yeah.
And it also has a performance in the bar. Madonna's just performing at their local bar. And while I was doing my CGI here on it, I was printing this out and noticed that, like in Italy, they put Madonna right on the cover,
Nice.
and they call the movie "Crazy for You"
Wow.
to let you know that Madonna's in the movie. So,
I bet if you like that movie, you'll like The Lost Boys.
you might.
I'm just thinking.
But no, it's Loudon Swain, 18-year-old. He just started wrestling in like his second to last year of school and was actually really good. But then, as his half Indian friend tells him, he's going on a vision quest because he drops from 190 pounds to wrestle at 168 to wrestle the best wrestler in the state. And the wrestling scenes are awesome. Like I said, the soundtrack's awesome. It's just it really is more of an 80s movie, and the wrestling is the background of it. But definitely should watch this.
So I've never watched that movie, but there was a guy on the ship who was a wrestler in high school, and he wasn't really into movies that much, but I was all about, like, I will find you whatever we can watch on the ship. He said, oh, we need to watch Vision Quest, because he said it's the only wrestling movie. Say, all right, let's do it. And so yeah, we got it, and he watched it, and he was very happy. But he said I didn't watch it on the ship, but other people did. And they're like, what's up with that rape scene? It was kind of rapey. And they're like a kind of rape.
It's the 80s.
Yeah. That was probably during
the
like,
80s.
the semi-hit.
It's the 80s.
Enough said, right?
It's the 80s.
Okay,
That's
fair enough. Anyway.
I mean, what are you gonna do? And then a movie that I really don't care for, Chuck Norris Invasion. Oh,
Invasion Rudy.
Put me in, coach. Put me in. It's really,
agree with you.
I mean, yeah. Some people might love this, but I don't know how you could. It's pretty bad.
I don't know.
I
how
never
you
watched the whole
love
thing.
Notre Dame football, period. But
You should watch Chuck Norris Invasion USA before you watch Rudy. So, but if I had to pick a sports movie that I'm not too fond of, this is the first one that came to mind. So that's it for my 3.
All
Send
right.
it back to Sam.
Good choices. I went over looking again for like the ones I owned to see if there's something I didn't like, but I got nothing. So let's move into a Wolfpick. Yeah.
Ooh.
You guys ready? All right. This is probably going to be an easy one. I know what Ryan's going to say right off the bat, but we're going to do 2 action movies that are set with a bit of a sports backdrop, but the sports isn't like the most important part of the movie. It's about the action. So we're doing sudden death versus The Last Boy Scout, hockey versus football. There's even a football right on the cover. And there's a hockey arena right on the cover. That's close to hockey. All right. So what do you got, Ryan?
Sudden death.
Because it's got a DTS version, right?
That and it's Van Damme.
Okay. But come on, man. Shane Black, Bruce Willis, he's all pissed off and grumpy. Christmas.
I know.
You love Christmas, right? No? All right.
I hate Christmas.
What do you got, Luke?
One of these days, you're gonna throw up 2 movies that I've actually seen.
All right.
That's not today. So
I like your informed decisions, so.
Yeah. So if I had to choose, which I guess I do.
Yeah.
Well, Last Boy Scout.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Little Damon Wayans, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, man. Look at that cover. It's great.
There you go.
All right, cool. All right, what do you got, Mac?
I have not seen these either. But Van Damme, love Van Damme. So Van Damme, sudden death.
All right, tough.
Where he goes to he's got a hockey arena and he has to like play hockey to the death, right? And then
Nah, it's just like Die
Those
Hard,
there.
but instead of the Nakatomi Plaza, it's at a hockey arena. And
really,
yeah,
Hockey to the dead.
yeah, yeah. That would have been much better. Yeah.
He's saving them, but he actually winds up on the ice as goalie for a little
Yeah.
while.
Wow.
It's got Powers Booth in it.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Powers Booth is. He's like Treat Williams, but
I don't
almost as cool.
know who that is either.
All right, what do you got, Trevor?
Honestly, it's kind of a hard decision for me. I've seen both of them and seen both at the theater, so.
Oh, damn.
But I'd have to go with Sudden Death just because of
right.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I like
Hockey.
hockey more.
Yeah.
Although it isn't Last Boy Scout, the Bruce Willis is like his wife's cheating on him. Is like, oh, let me guess, you just oops, you trip, fall, your dick fell into my wife.
Yeah, it's got some great lines. I mean, yeah, Shane Black did it. So if you like his movies, you're gonna like it. Yeah, lots of interesting dialogue, and that's the one I'm choosing too. Yeah, it's got Damon Wayans is pretty fun in it, and yeah, lots of shenanigans and badass villains, and a cool finale at a football game. So there you go. I don't know if we had a winner. What was that? I think Sudden Death won, right?
So
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because Luke hasn't seen any of them anyways, so he doesn't count.
I don't know why I'm here.
I like that. No, that's like the control. Yeah, every experiment.
You didn't
has
think
to
you were
have
going to
that.
be here anyways.
Yeah. All right, let's do some pickups. Pickups music. All right. Since I've been moving, I haven't been buying a lot of stuff, but right before I moved, as I said in the last podcast, I I got like 700 discs or so. So I decided for fun, instead of the stuff that's like cool or rare or whatever, I would just go through and find all the sports movies that were in that lot.
Ooh.
So there you go. We'll go into it.
maybe you'll find one you don't like.
I know I might, but I have to watch it first. All right. First, Shaq and Nick Nolte and Blue Chips. Got some basketball value price. So you got that.
I saw that in theater.
Got to have some poop dreams. So
Yep.
also basketball. Keeping with basketball.
I got the team going.
The Six Man.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
fun and irresistible. So
Oh.
there you go.
Win-win. I have seen that. I have seen it.
Celtic Pride.
Yes.
Damon Wayans returning again.
That was
Daniel
awesome.
Stern.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Daniel Stern's the man.
I think
Go.
I saw all 90s sports comedies in theater.
I saw this in the theater. White Man Can't
Oh,
Jump. Also
Nice.
see
Love
it.
it. Love Jeopardy. Alex Trebek's in that shit. It's good.
Yeah. Rosie Perez.
Yep.
Give him the white boy.
Eddie. More basketball.
Wow.
Everyone's favorite Whoopi movie.
Oh my
with
gosh.
Dolby Digital. So there you go.
That's a great sticker.
All right, we're moving over to football. Everybody's All American with Dennis Quaid. Never seen it.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
Another amazing football movie, Flash Gordon. Obviously, I have more copies of that, but all right, hold on.
Flash Gordon.
We're getting there. Does that have football in Flash Gordon?
Oh yeah.
Just for Vinny, some pool, billiards, The Hustler.
Love
Was
this.
in the lot.
Awesome.
Almost put that as one word.
Bodybuilding, competitive bodybuilding, Stay Hungry.
Smoke weed in that? Does he smoke weed in that one?
I think there's weed in that. Yeah.
Fucking weird.
You got cut out, right?
Some equestrian
sequel.
stuff.
Okay.
The Electric Horseman. It's got rodeo stuff and equestrian.
And it's a robot horse, so that's fun.
Equestrian career opportunities. It's got some killer horse riding.
Stretch, big stretch.
Rugby. Alive. There you go. Good rugby movie. Some rodeo stuff. 8 seconds.
Yes.
There you go. The late Luke Perry. Yeah. This one I showed on the last one, but yeah, just for Trevor. It's I think one of my only ski movies, Going for the Gold with Anthony Edwards. So from Camelot. So that's quality
Here's your
stuff.
Ski Patrol.
There you go.
Yeah, I got Ski Patrol. All right, almost done. We were told no Costner, right? So I can't show Tin Cup, right? So
You can show Tin Cup.
all right, it's too late. And
It's probably Robbie Noise.
this guy's pretty fired up to when he's running.
Wow.
He's getting the gold and glory.
Wow.
Look at him go. He's really trotting there. Gotta have some boxing.
Hi.
Great white hype, widescreen. And the signature collection that's everywhere for $5. The boxer. Gotta have that. And finally, I did actually get some stuff because Maxeene pointed me in this direction. So this has some car racing in it, but it's not really a sports movie. AC3 reissue of Brainstorm, which I've been looking for quite some time. So thanks for the tip off, Maxeene.
You're welcome.
Yeah, hooray. And I think that's it for sports. Yeah. All right. What do you got, Ryan?
You guys chose what I'll be showing, so we'll just get right into that and see if I can do this and make it through the segment. Here we go. First and foremost, Flight of the Ibis.
Oh my
The
god.
Singapore only random bro fest with a chick.
What's
Love
with that dude's eyes?
He's in the moment. You see all the
It's the
explosions.
He's got the
Fire
ibis.
in his eyes.
He's got the ibis.
Rolling on, a Singapore release, Cybertech PD.
Nice.
There's like a Singapore and like a Hong Kong or something. So
I want to know
Lorenzo
more.
Lamas, by the way.
Wow.
Gotta have the quality actors.
Oh, Chris Sarandon, though.
Loveness.
Yeah. It's a full-fledged
Movie?
hit maker. Cyberzone.
Yes. Oh my
Got
God.
Mark Singer and
Damn.
Matthias Hughes. So you know you're gonna have a good time with Matthias Hughes. He's gonna kill some people and just beat them up or something. And it's got Cyber. So this is Taiwan only.
Man, the Beastmaster's
This
in it.
is a great bad guy.
Final
Wow.
Equinox.
What?
This is Singapore only with Martin Cove. and
Martin
Joe
Cove with
Haro.
the glasses. Look at that.
I mean, look at this style. Like
Yeah.
everything about this cover is perfect. And yeah, the back is pretty awesome too. Like you don't get those covers in the 2000s. Moving on, we've got Death Penalty,
Wow.
aka the Satan Killer, and it's a Taiwan only. And I have no idea who this dude is, but he's driving a motorcycle with what looks like some sort of automatic machine gun type thing
Amazing.
going on.
It's like the
And there's-
biker from Raising Arizona, I guess.
The chick's got like a pentagram carved into her chest.
Wow.
So everything that could be going on that's good is.
Wow.
Keeping the motorcycle theme, we've got Billy
Right.
Bad, aka Motorcycle. And this one is, I've got notes because I can't remember this, trust me. It is a Taiwan release. There's apparently like a Hong Kong or something, but yeah. You can't go wrong with a motorcycle and a shotgun. And
With Billy Bad.
yeah. And it's some A-listers like Robert Restano, Nicola Sejas, Thomas Emery Dennis, and Dermot Daniel Downs.
Wow.
What's Luke holding up over there? What do you got over there, Luke?
Nothing. Oh, sorry. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Keep moving
He's
on.
doing another podcast.
Yeah.
Hunt for
Got
the
this other
Golden
thing going on.
Scorpion. Hunt for the Golden Scorpion. This is a Taiwan only Umberto Lenzi Italian shit action. So
Wow.
you know it's going to be good if it's an Italian
Yeah.
director.
Lindsay, man. Yeah.
He makes some good stuff. Got Sword of Honor, which is a Stephen Vincent Lee Broterian, where he's a cop and a sword fighter. Like,
Wow.
yeah, and it's PM Entertainment. So
I like his gun pose. That's nice.
Yeah, he looks like he's skilled.
It's
And this is a
definitely-
Taiwan release, by the way. There's a US copy. I've never seen it. There's a picture on LDDB, but I don't believe it exists. Got a couple more. Just a
Okay.
Resort to Kill,
Wow.
aka Immortal Combat. That's Piper and Chiba.
Hmm.
So
Rest in peace. Rest in peace,
rest
Chief.
in peace.
Yeah.
Both of them, yeah.
COVID got him.
Yep.
This is a Singapore release. There is a US version. It's actually titled Immortal Combat, but that cover is pretty amazing, so you can't go wrong. We've got the movie Death Junction, an Indonesian-only thriller. As far as I know, there are no US releases of this on any format. I could find a Region 2 DVD from like Greece, and that's it. So good luck finding this Phil Morrison film. Phil Morrison, you guys know Phil Morrison, right?
Is that your Morrison's brother?
Probably.
Yeah.
Morrison Fellow.
Same family. They had a big acting family.
It's Phil Spector's brother.
Oh yeah, good point.
I don't know where you got that one, but Steel Frontier, another Joe Lara film. I have no idea. Like that looks like some badass car. It's PM Entertainment.
It's got the Blade
Singapore
Runner
only.
font,
I know. That's what I was going to say. It's about Blade Runner vibe.
and Brian James from Blade Runner's in it, so clearly it's a sequel to Blade Runner.
Or it's probably better because
Probably a prequel. Let's be serious.
Could be, yes, because he died in Blade Runner. So good point.
Or it could be a reboot.
Could be.
Keeping with the PM Entertainment, this is a storybook.
Yes.
It is a children's film on the PM Entertainment label, and this is an Indonesian release. Yeah, no idea if it's any good, but I mean, if they brought you the movie Steel Frontier and storybook, that is a company that has range.
The Range.
Speaking of range, there's Rage from PM Entertainment.
Wow.
Is amazing.
This is a Indonesian release, and there's just a lot going on. So
Yeah.
you
There's
have
multiple
explosions on the front and the back.
Yeah.
Same
That's-
explosion.
Yeah,
I like the perspective of that. Like he's hanging from a building that's going sideways or something. Yeah.
yeah, like that's the Rage. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
You got semi trucks there, and it's coming at him. It's just,
Yep.
there's so much going on.
Incredible.
So you
I like it.
can't go wrong.
I love it.
And then I got two more. First and foremost, have you heard of Johnny Quest or the
Oh,
Real
yeah.
Adventures of Johnny Quest? This is
Oh, yeah.
the Cartoon Network
Yes.
one. This is a
Pretty cool.
Singapore only release, and the only way to get Johnny Quest, the new cartoon, on LaserDisc.
Wow.
So just randomly snagged that, and when I was looking through stuff to show, I was like, "Hey, that looks pretty cool."
I love Johnny Quest.
I like the
Yeah.
OG Johnny Quest.
I got
was
one
like,
more.
I was bitchy about the new one, but I respect
Like
the
Scooby-Doo.
I respect the purchase.
I mean, like, finding anything Cartoon Network is like just insane. So
Yeah, that's cool.
excited. Have you heard of the movie Assault on Dome 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this is Chase Moran, the
Bruce.
Singapore only Bruce Campbell film.
Brian James again too.
Yeah. Bruce Campbell plays the bad guy. He
Wow.
also has a director's commentary on here.
Damn.
That's cool.
Probably not a commentary, but this
Nice
is
packaging,
a
though.
Scenes.
Singapore only release that I didn't know existed until a copy came up like a month ago.
Hmm.
So as far as I know, this is the only one, but there might be more out there.
Cool.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell. I hear good things about that guy.
Yeah,
been-
he's going places.
He's definitely like probably still going up. I'd say
Yeah.
hasn't peaked yet.
Legendary.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'll let you guys know what the director's commentary on this one is for Bruce here. But yeah, that's my pickups. Just some normal, average,
Every day.
mundane,
Yep.
every day.
Really typical.
Yeah. Luke, did you pick up anything from Singapore this time?
No, how the fuck am I supposed to okay, here you go. I have two measly discs that I picked up. And I'm not sure if I talked about this one last time. I don't think I did. I picked up, did I talk about this last time on their unreleased episode? Anyway, Suburbia,
Which one?
Richard Linklater. It's hard to find on other formats. I think I'm not sure if it's didn't come to a DVD or a Blu-ray. I have not looked it up, but it's really good. Like, I mean, it's obviously from a play, and it's very much like a play. It is much heavy-handed and darker than it looks like it would be. But I enjoyed it. It was good. I like Richard Linklater a lot. And you got Giovanni Ribisi, you got Steve Zahn, you've got Parker Posey, Max's favorite, in there, playing a good character. Like, you know, they're like a bunch of guys who still live in their hometown, not doing much. And then this one guy comes back and he's made it. He went out, he became a singer and famous. He's coming back to hang at the old spot, you know, after like a year. He's blown up in a year. And I don't know, it's worth watching. It's worth checking out.
It's hard to find. Good pickup.
Oh, thank you. You know, yours were crap. But
I know, except for the
for the sake of mine are good.
Yep.
I'll talk about this. You know, you got the vet guy who, you know, he's the really dark one. He's the like, oh, everything's terrible. Has anyone seen this movie? Sam, have you seen this movie? No.
Only pieces of it. Yeah, not the whole
So
thing.
as a guy in the military, it's funny because he's like, he was in the Air Force and he was a cook. And I'm like, fuck you, guy. Like, like he's all like moody and like, oh. But he turns out he like cut himself cooking in the Air Force. I'm like, no, which is it's a solid plot point. It's very good that they put it in there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. All right, next one I got this morning. I went to a book off in San Diego here because I had no pickups recently and I wanted to show something. And I found this. It was good. This is something that Ryan had forever. I remember he was trying to pawn it off on me and I was like, no thanks. And then there was a podcast with Quentin Tarantino talking about movies I talked about it before, but movies by directors. Their last movie was really good. You know, it's like, okay, what movies by last directors before they died, that was really good. And picked up Sleuth.
Nice.
Which is another one that's hard to, you know, I don't want to say it's not available anywhere else, but it's, you know, for whatever reason, you can't find it. Like LaserDisc is still one of these LaserDisc, probably VHS only. And I tried watching some of it today. It's really good. Again, it's like a play, you know, it's like set in one room and like Michael Caine comes and he has fallen in love with Laurence Olivier's wife and Laurence Olivier is like, you want to marry my wife, don't you? And then, you know, stuff happens. Yeah, it's good. The only thing, like, I become so, I don't know what the word is, but like, I need subtitles. I need closed captions on things I watch now.
Oh, deaf, hard of hearing.
Yes, that's me. But I don't know. Like, I do it so much now that it's hard. I was like, whoa, there's no closed captioning. How the fuck am I supposed to watch this? And it's even harder when it's like two very English guys, you know, like two very, but anyway, it was fairly cheap. It was cheaper than I thought it would be because they have discs at Book Off. They have no problem slapping a $90 sticker on some bullshit and just throwing it in the racks. But yeah, I was glad to find this one. And then I've got all these Indonesian discs and this Turkey only discs and this disc from the moon.
Save those for the next episode, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't want to brag too much.
Yeah. Max, what did you get?
Well, on I'm gonna show some swag. I'll show some swag first.
Nice.
Forgive me, my cat laid on this, but I got a shirt.
Oh, sick. Is that embroidered?
It's printed.
Oh, it's
but
printed.
It's navy blue. I have the same shirt in green, but it's got this kind of like rib look to it on the shirt type, which is unique to this specific Dolby Digital shirt. The same shirt style is the one that I have in green, is also that same type of shirt.
That's cool.
But it's super. I've never seen. I thought it was going to be a black shirt, and then it showed up and it was navy, and I was pleasantly surprised. Okay. Now this no one. I don't think anyone's ever seen this before.
What is that? I can see some writing on the button. Ooh, it's got a little flap.
What's
Is it test pressing?
Is it a calendar?
Yeah, it could be a calendar.
I think it's Harry Potter.
Ah, is it a? Oh, it's another puzzle
Is it a
It's
puzzle?
a
Dude.
puzzle
of the Raiders,
of the
Japanese,
cover, and it's got
coming to
on
a
the
theater
actual
near
disc,
you
yeah.
in '84.
That's just like the disc. It has that on the actual disc.
Yep.
So that's funny because I have this that would go with that, and I'm going to mail it. This is the Obi that goes with that. That's
You,
funny.
you should cut the obi into little pieces so she has to reassemble it.
Yeah. I just have-
That just like it's got this like the way that it's in there.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just like purposely made to be in this particular sleeve.
That's
to
very
house
cool.
the puzzle.
So is that your second LD puzzle now?
My second
All
is
right.
just.
That's cool.
I mean,
What was the other one? Was it like Woman in Red or something?
yeah, it was Woman in Red,
Yep.
and it was the disc rather than
Yeah.
the cover. So now this one's the cover, and the other puzzle is of the disc. But I like the other one because the other one has this kind of like rim where you can assemble the actual puzzle inside of. This kind of is like very difficult to handle because it's just got like a card stock backing
Yeah.
that it's just like laid on top of. But like, yeah, when it arrived, a couple of pieces were out of place, and I had to put them back.
Oh man, that's awesome though.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I couldn't believe that when I saw that. Okay. Oh, I have a big box set. So hold on.
Fantasia.
It better be Fantasia. Oh, sick. Mecha. Oh, Death Battle Chronicle.
Yeah.
Dude.
Big one. This
Yeah.
one is so cool. I got this like as a set. with
There's
this
Mecha
one
Godzilla.
and this one.
Nice.
I figured since I'm completely don't know who I am anymore and breaking all of my box set rules, might as well go full dinosaur and all the freaking Godzillas. So
Go for it.
I love it. I'm excited about those. Okay. So I got my Brocharian monthly box.
Yeah. Dudikoff.
Steven Dorff.
And Dorf. Yeah, I can't forget the Dorf. Good point, Trevor.
Hoppendorf. Barrymore. Chris
Damn.
Christopherson.
Highwayman.
Like it.
Landau for some
Isn't that
reason.
Canon Films?
Blood Money.
Nice.
Hmm. Good cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barkin.
No, never seen this
Heavy
one.
hitters.
And I got a trilogy here.
What do we have?
Relentless.
Ah.
Nice.
Relentless 2. And Relentless 3.
Damn.
There you go.
Gonna have to find number 4 now.
Is there a 4?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, amazing. I'll find it.
Ugh.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
I mean,
was
why would you
figuring
stop
there
at
might
3 on
be-
any trilogy?
I know. It seems silly. I was like, there's probably a 4 and maybe a 5 for all I
Yep.
know. But
Treat Williams took
I
over
love-
at 5.
Ratty Shrink on here with the sticker just for Luke.
Yeah,
No,
where's the
I
sticker
would take
from?
that off. I would take that off. I'd take that shrink off.
All right, for you.
What are you doing? That was a joke. that was a test, and you failed.
But it was ratty. You really leave it for real? You would
No. I would definitely take.
it off.
Yes, that's gone.
What was the store?
On the actual cover?
Oh.
Stays.
It's Camelot.
Camelot, nice.
Yeah, it's trash.
I saved
Yeah,
the
that's
stickers.
trash.
I put them on my address book.
Dennis Farina, baby.
Really cool.
Rest in peace.
This
From
is.
Entertainment.
We have a PM. Yeah.
Ah,
Oh,
look.
nice.
Oh. Penis money.
It's the best kind of money.
Liquid Dreams.
That looks funky.
But it has liquid in it, and so far I've liked every
Every liquid movie.
every liquid Laserdisc. Okay.
Liquid Sky.
I used to like liquid television. Oh, damn.
Oh,
Nice.
nice one.
I just-
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it's taken me so long to find this because, like, forever I was like, I have that. No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
I get the old one all the time, but that one's elusive.
Yeah.
Who is that? Oh, Hand.
Nice.
It's one of the Corys.
A nice little Corey. Not much for telling you what's going on in the back other than reading it all. There's no explosions.
Man.
Okay, here's my wackier ones.
Oh, a Nova episode.
That chance in a thin world.
What?
Seems like a good news expose.
I think so.
Yeah.
Nova has the answer.
Yeah.
Looks interesting.
I probably watched that like back in the day with my dad.
Oh,
Damn.
nice.
Ooh, Goof Troop. I've never seen that one. That's fun.
Yeah.
No,
It's
there's
cool. Looks like there's like
a
a little.
Darkwing Duck, and I've got a DuckTales, but I've never seen, and Chip and Dale, but I've never seen Goof Troop. That's cool.
Yeah. My first goof trip. Got two more.
Ryan used to dance with them.
Jeff Conway. Is
Oh,
what's
damn. That's who that is.
Love those
Jeff Conway from Grease.
VHS on the cover, turned to the side.
Yeah,
Yep.
right? It's so lazy.
Bloop.
And this is my.
Oh,
Four.
fuck off.
I now have
So
all
pretty.
four. I mean, good luck
Of
on
the trilogy.
Yeah.
You got the VHS. That's about it.
There's a fifth one from.
I know there's a fifth one, but it's really hard to get the fifth one. I think there's like one person who has the fifth one.
Yeah, I mean,
So
His name's Ryan.
I
yeah.
don't have the fifth one.
So
Yeah,
Might
you
pop up,
say.
who knows?
I mean, maybe one of these days, but I am not holding my breath on the fifth one. The fourth one, I was like, felt accomplished.
Yeah.
Now I have to get relentless for. So I'm not relentless completely.
Much harder to find than Silent Night, Deadly Night 5 for sure.
I think that's everything.
Good job.
Sweet.
Trevor's been around for ages collecting stuff. What have you been getting?
Oh yeah, he's got the goods.
I'm so.
Oh, yeah, I
whatever
have
it is.
as far as LaserDisc pickups go, I had two boxes here. One being Broterian Box Monthly that arrived, and I said I was going to save it till I showed up on the show. And then the other one randomly showed up after a year of being in the mail that Luke mailed while he was in Japan, like last July, and it showed up like a month ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Right
so
before they
crazy.
started.
So I sent four boxes from Japan, like right before I left, and they all disappeared, like every single one of them. And they all showed up about a year later, all at the same time. Everyone was like, "Hey, I got your box. Hey, I got your box." Crazy. It's so like I'm fascinated by it. Like, where has it been? What has it been? You're all sitting somewhere. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I'm actually going to wait until I do it. So I cut them open right before we started because me and Luke, neither one of us remembered what was in it. So figured that was interesting. And as far as Ryan went, I knew one thing that was in it. So there's always extras. So we're going to look right now.
Live unboxing.
I
And
love
the
it.
first one out of the Broterian Box Monthly
Yes.
is a master cooking class.
Damn, that's
Great
hardcore.
test.
Greg Claiborne and Pierre Frane, the master cooking course, laser video disc.
That's
No
a
Dudikoff?
max
And,
recommendation right there.
I learned something.
Moose the Poison, a bunch of other shit. Lemon in fancy shapes.
Nice.
Tomato rose. I can do all kinds of stuff with this thing.
Oh yeah,
Tomato
it's
rose.
really good one. It's very informative,
Hey, just
very enjoyable.
mayonnaise right there.
Yes.
You want to learn how to make mayonnaise? You buy
Homemade.
this laser disc.
You had me
Homemade
at fancy
mayonnaise.
shapes.
Fancy lemon shapes, buddy.
Dude.
It's my favorite one. That was literally
And
the
then
best one.
this one, this is priceless right here. McQueen and Swayze, Money to
Yes.
Burn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, and we're talking Chad McQueen, Don Swayze,
Best McQueen.
and not even listed, but it says Joe Estevez.
Mm.
The
So
best of us.
all of the cousins and brothers are in this
Estevez.
movie, Money to Burn.
Is that the one that's also known as Squanderers?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I
If you
love
look
it.
on that, we got a little dirt bike action.
Oh,
We got a little bathtub makeout session going on in
Oh, yeah.
there.
Nice.
Somebody hanging from a helicopter.
hell yeah.
This right here, quality Broterian box. This is why you subscribe to the Broterian boxes for stuff like this. And this one was the one I knew about. And sticking with the sports theme,
Yes.
we got the Salute of the Jugger.
Wow.
And This one, they do play a game. It's similar to like rugby or football, but they play it with the skull of a dog. It's got a Rutger Hauer. They're traveling across like a no man's land. But this movie's great. I forget the name of it in the United States now. Is it
Blood of Heroes.
Blood of Heroes?
Yep.
Which I'm glad, because I almost bought the wrong movie, and then Ryan pointed out that I was getting ready to buy Flesh and Blood with Rutger Hauer, thinking that it was this movie. But salute to the Jugger. This right here, add this to the top of the sports list right here. Now we're going into what Luke had mailed me.
Porn.
Guns.
Wow.
Gun porn.
Fun. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a list of guns.
It's amazing. That's
Got a
hard
guy
to
back
get in here.
shooting a Colt.
Yeah. I remember I put it up once on the podcast. You said, send it to me. And never say that to me. I will send it to you.
And I appreciate it. This
Yep.
is quality right here. I don't believe I asked for this, but I can see why he sent it to me. This is like skinny guy sumo wrestling, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nice, yeah.
What?
There's
That's
a
fantastic.
freaking ginger wearing a red diaper,
Nice.
getting ready to sumo wrestle.
Is that a documentary or is that like a movie or?
I hope it's pumping iron.
I have no idea. I can't read Japanese.
What? I thought you could. Japanese. Okay.
Check out that pose right there. Oh, you know me, I'm getting old. I need the subtitles on the bottom and stuff. Right? I can't pay attention. You know. And then this one, I do remember asking for.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dark Angel.
There's
I Come in
another
Peace.
example of a Japanese movie with a different title, right? What's the other?
Yeah. I Come in Peace.
There you go.
Yeah, which is honestly usually a rotter. I
Yeah.
do think my copy's pretty clean, but when I saw you had this, I remember asking them to send it to me. A good Dolph Lundgren action movie. So come in peace and you'll go
One
in
pieces.
That one's uncut, unlike the US one. So
Oh.
And those are my LaserDisc pickups. One taking a year to get to me.
Incredible.
Dude, thanks for sharing.
Solid. I love it.
Yeah.
sweet.
All right. You guys ready for some hot topics?
Yeah,
Hot topic.
let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what he got. The groups have been mostly sales and people spinning things, and some of the newbies are throwing down some like interesting choices and like interactive things that makes Vinny happy. Vinny
Lots of
gets mad.
favorites.
Yeah. And favorites. Yeah. Lots of favorites.
Oh, 60% or more.
Yep. But yeah, Ryan and a couple guys are now funding all of Indonesia's exporting, and yeah, I think you're officially a staple of Indonesian currency and economy.
Yep, I've helped build 17 huts after the last tropical depression.
Is there a hospital named after you yet? Or?
I'm working on it. That's round 2. Probably by the end of September, they'll have the Ryan Cushing child earthing wing or whatever they call it there.
Yeah.
It's just an urgent care right now.
Yeah.
The Ryan Cushing walk-in clinic. Yep. But,
I started out buying them iPhones and such because you got to start little, work your way up to the children's hospital. But I did not buy 900 at once.
all right.
Not me. I
But I
would
mean-
not want to.
Thanks to you guys, lots of other people now have the opportunity to buy some discs, because I mean, you can't buy them all, so there's some leftovers, right?
Oh yeah, there's good stuff out there.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
like, it's 129 days was the last box that I got from there. It took,
Man.
and I didn't think it was coming because the tracking didn't update until it was delivered to my house after 129 days. Like it was literally left Jakarta 129 days later. Plus, like you have to clean them all, you have to polish them, you have to replace the insert, place the outsert, or like add a jacket, because usually the jackets are a little beat up because most were RX rentals. So like it's not a hey, you're gonna get a mint Bruce Campbell disc every day.
Yeah. Speaking of storage and
Good.
cleaning and stuff, did Luke get your 8 million bags yet?
Yes, I did. I am surrounded by plastic right now, It is. I bought my my order from Bags Unlimited, and I am almost done with the LaserDisc. I haven't even started on the records. It is not fun. Like it's just at first like, oh yeah, this is cool, and then it's like, oh God, please let this stop. I do half a cube, and then I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, I think I started with probably a couple hundred or so when I first did it, and yeah, that alone was pretty bad.
I've got 1,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, just 1 cube, 2 cubes, easy when you start. But yeah, sucks.
You can do it.
The Indonesian stuff. We're not going to talk about money, but like, does he give you a like list? How does that work?
He sends me photos. I've sent them to
Photos?
Sam and Maxine, and they
You
can
not
be
send them to
like,
me.
it can be lots of like, you never asked. I can send them to you. It's fine.
my
It's not like proprietary. But like, there's a lot of just like beat up or destroyed discs. Like they're just like water damaged or just beat to hell because they are. And then you just kind of pick through like what looks cool or what I don't have. And my goal is to find anything that looks like there's an action sequence or shitty sci-fi. And as long as it doesn't look like it's been run through the mud, those are the ones I grab. And then I wait, because if you want to buy them and get them right away, you're paying like $14 to $15 shipping per disc. And that's really expensive. And you're buying like 20 discs at a time at that point. So
Sure.
$300 is shipping. You don't want to do that. That's no fun. So I just literally fill a box and wait 4 months. This last round was 4 months, and I'm still cleaning the discs. I got them. They showed up randomly like Wednesday or Tuesday. I think I've cleaned like 10 or 15.
Do you remember what you order, or I mean, do you have a list?
I have a spreadsheet so that I don't order duplicates unless I specifically want to. Like I think something looks cool. Like for example, I do have it sitting right here. That Death Junction movie, I grabbed the second one because I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever see this, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'll probably trade it to somebody just because it's cool. Like, and those are the kinds of things like I'm okay just sitting on it waiting for somebody who wants it. So yeah. Maxine's like volunteering, but Maxine's movie's already here too. So that's going to Maxeene. Nice. So, but yeah, like that's the other thing. Like if there's something that I already have and I know somebody wants it, I'll grab it because it'll take 3-4 months, and then it's a surprise because while I know what I'm getting, I don't like study the list. I just make sure I don't end up with duplicates or something. But it's so much work. Like you have to enjoy the hobby to do it. You don't want to just be like, hey, I want this random movie. Let's get 20 of them. There's just no point. So.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see more people on LDF posting Broteri and Ryan Cushing picks. So I think the Cushing effect is in full effect.
Yeah. What you're doing for me is you're making sure that if I find something, I can sell it. That's what you're doing for me right now.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah,
Creating
I
a market.
remember like, a couple years back when like we were just messing around, Hogan discs were like $10 a piece. And now you can't even like find them for sale unless they're $50, $60. And it's like, I mean, they're cool, don't get me wrong, but
That one guy,
man, we did not pay what the crazies are paying now. Like, so it's kind of nice.
We did screw up and not pick up a couple of them, and we overpaid on like 1 or 2 each.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we shouldn't have driven the price up before we got all of them.
Oops.
Yeah,
only
no
Hogan
holds
disc
barred
one.
is like, that one is impossible to find now.
Yeah.
It just is.
The guy I got it from, I remember he posted something later like, oh, I regret selling that disc. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to keep it forever.
You should keep it
Sorry.
forever. Amazing.
Let's see what else is going on. Tech stuff. The World got their Extron 301 HDs that has the same chip as the eval board, and it's not that good apparently. So
You mean it's not programmed specifically for LaserDisc?
yeah, that's again, that's the thing about
And it
chip.
doesn't have the open interface.
Yeah.
Like, the evaluation hardware.
the cool thing about the chip is that you can write a custom script for it to do what you want, and when you get it already installed in someone other companies in their box, they've done what they've done with it, and you're stuck with that. So,
And I don't think that they were selling that box for LaserDisc people, right?
No, yeah, I mean, I'm sure someone thought that maybe you could connect a LaserDisc to it, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
That probably wasn't in their battery of optimizations. Like, oh, hang on, let's make sure we have a LaserDisc setting and do that
specifically, yeah, for the comb filter, yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, Extron makes good stuff. I've got a little composite switcher back there, but yeah. Oh well, it's not the eval killer apparently.
Mm.
Then now I'm hearing someone's working on another script for the eval, so I'm gonna have to get mine reprogrammed or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
better watch out. It might have like 1% clarity
yeah.
or 0.5%.
Here's a rarity. Ryan and I can actually talk about something that's like usually secret.
Yeah.
We kind of we're part
You
of a
guys are
project.
dating.
We're
You guys
dating.
are getting married.
We're getting married to vinegar syndrome.
Yep. Our wives aren't happy.
I know. I had to break it to her.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to dodge some phases. But yeah, Vinegar Syndrome just announced that they're putting out the Troma film blades, and they needed some LaserDisc source material to make that happen.
So we rushed it together. I got it to you, and you went to town and
Yeah,
went to press and was announced literally this week?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was.
So by the time you watch it, it'll probably be out. But
Yeah, it was probably late August, maybe when we started kind of getting ready. Yeah, it was fast. So yeah,
Yep.
good on them. Of course, some people are.
Lawnmower.
What's that?
Killer lawnmower.
Right? Some people are griping because it's not obscure enough. Yeah, Troma is too mainstream for Vinegar Syndrome, but yeah, screw them.
So what did they want from the LaserDisc?
They wanted the digital and the analog audio. So I haven't been able to follow up yet to see exactly what they used and why and where. But yeah, normally they just want one of the tracks, but this time they needed both of them. So
And they couldn't get that from Lloyd Kaufman or whatever his name is.
Apparently
might have
not.
been that the prints that they got weren't perfect or
Oh,
had some
Yeah.
distortions, so they used my audio to fix it that Sam ripped. So
yeah,
You guys are getting $1 million.
we're just that cool.
yeah. We're
Like,
gonna
we
retire
do
now.
it for the cred. Like
Y'all dumb. You should do it for money.
We get recognized on the street a lot. People are like, "Oh man,
yeah,
you worked on the LaserDisc audio for Blades."
Yeah.
We're like,
that's it. I'm actually in the industry now. So
Yep.
is Sam.
Yes.
So
it's kind of a big deal.
that's the
You're moving to LA?
Yep.
we don't have to. We can work remote,
Yeah.
COVID remote.
Yep. Let's see. Any other
That's
hot
very cool.
topics?
That's exciting.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh yeah, and it's an
to-
exciting release. Like
Yeah.
when,
Yeah.
when you think
Killer
about it.
lawnmower, like Trevor said.
To explain,
Actually, it's a really good movie. Like
Yeah.
as far as Troma goes, it's actually one of the upper ones.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
It's entertaining. It's funny. Just Killer lawnmower. Got all you need in a movie.
Yep.
what else do you need?
And
to
I don't think it's ever
Sam, the Vinegar Syndrome store
Yep.
is close to you, and you go in there and you've talked to the guy. So how'd that happen?
Yeah, I first met. I think it was after doing Retro World, because one of the guys that runs Retro World has a channel called RetroWare. Lance, he's a cool guy, and he was like, "Oh, we should hang out sometime," because he also likes LaserDisc. And normally Retro World Expo is mostly video games, but he was like, "Well, I watched this guy's LaserDisc YouTube channel, so I'm going to invite him because he's on the fringes." And I figured I'd talk about the Laser Active a little bit and kind of tie it together. But so I've been doing like every Retro World Expo after that, and he's also a huge fan of the archive. And he's like, "Oh, dude, there's a store down in Bridgeport, Connecticut. You got to come with me." So we had a mandate. We went down there, and I'm like, "Dude, this place is legitimately awesome." And then the archive guys they had a table at the next year Retro World, so that's when I kind of befriended those dudes and started talking about what's that.
You climbed under it.
Yeah, I was like hiding under the table.
Gotta work the crowd.
Yeah. And I chatted with those guys about LaserDisc, and they were like, what the hell's wrong with you? And they're like, "Do you want to be our LaserDisc dude?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to be your LaserDisc dude." So ever since I've been their LaserDisc dude.
And how do they rip it? Do you know? Like, how do they take the digital or analog? Not that I'm a huge tech guy, but like, how do they get what they need off of that LaserDisc?
I just get waves from them, either through, for the analog, I have to go through the analog outs on the player, and then
So it's
do that.
you that's doing it.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm the archiver guy. Yeah,
Got it,
and then
got
the digital stuff I can take out from an optical cable out and just record this straight digital. But yeah, so I'm the dude. So I use my high-end quality players to get the most badass copy. And then yeah, sometimes they want video. Most of the time it's audio, but yeah, I did video on one project that I'm still forbidden from talking about. That's the cool thing about this one. Normally there's like a big NDA period, but this
I was
quick.
surprised that like, holy crap, like they announced it for September, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, this is going to be a good month. Like when you already know one of the films, and yeah, that other one, like, is it?
Yep.
I think it's happening. I know that like it's on their radar this year, but they've had some other sourcing issues.
So yeah, Ryan got deputized because they're like, we want a list of all your LDs. And I'm like, yeah, but I also got this crazy guy that I do a podcast with that has like 1 million like Rotarian and weird obscure horror and stuff. So you might want his list too.
Yep.
So yeah, so now they come at us whenever they need something.
Great. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. We're special.
We'll gladly help.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I guess there's no topic hotter than that. You want to wrap up the segment and go into pickups?
Might as well. I mean, there's no drama really. It's just been nice.
Yeah, no Song of the South, right?
Oh, we did have the did we talk about this last time? The not shipping LaserDiscs out of the car.
Oh, dude, we didn't talk about the big blowout with Joe. Yeah.
One of the people who was a big seller, who was always known for being notoriously slow to get things out.
Yeah.
Completely disappeared and was out of a car.
And he would get super aggressive too whenever someone would question his slowness.
Yeah, and it's like if you haven't shipped it, just say it. Like, dude, go to the post office. It's not hard. And if the post office you go to doesn't scan your discs, they have lots of post offices.
Yeah, that was always his go-to thing.
And it's like, just quit being lazy. Like, go to a different post office. Because if you want proof of scan, you walk up to the counter and you wait, and they give you a receipt, and it's 100% scanned in that. There's no question. Like, you're just being lazy or nonchalant, or you just don't care. And
for him, he was probably over his head. Like, he probably just so many orders, and he just
Well, yeah, and then like he'd be selling one day, and like he's PMing people like that are selling other stuff the same day, and you're like, dude, like,
right?
It's a hobby. It's not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna build a house with it.
I'm always surprised people like that. Where did find them?
You get an oil change in your house.
Florida, man. Like Florida.
Yeah.
He's the one who sent me the notoriously see-through.
Yeah.
Girls just want to have fun.
Total spot check that one.
Yeah, you clearly spot check.
Yeah, like, I mean, part of shipping a disc, normally you take it out of the jacket.
Man. But yeah, I know a couple of people that have, they would just kind of write back and be like, hey, any word on the shipping? And he'd go from 0 to, hey, man, I'm an important part of the community and everybody knows I'm trustworthy. I was like, whoa, pump the brakes there.
Yeah, like, people just want what they paid for. That's it. They're not like, they don't want to ruin your day.
So yeah, he had a lot of sales. What the divorce sale was one, and then
the
fire
job sale. After
the lost
that,
my
like,
job.
It was like a spiral. Like you could see
The living in my car sale.
Yeah.
And then he just ghosted everyone and deleted all his social media.
And like left every group, and then the seller groups all removed him because we're like, we don't want to deal with that guy. So
yeah,
he should just park his car at the post office.
Might actually get something shipped then.
Yeah. I know. Damn post office. They never
I hear they hire all the time.
True.
So go back to the shipping stuff. I don't take that many orders, but like I am addicted to selling as much as buying. So it's like I love the aspect. I've always loved the post office in this weird way. Where I love packing it up. I still wait in line at the post office just to do the whole thing, and just like people are like, oh, you send it so quick. It's like, because I love it. Because I love shipping shit. I don't know.
I don't like the packing, but I do like going to the post office. That part's fun.
I hate going to the post office because mine always has a line, and it's not from the people who know what they're doing. People who have like been to the post office before, they're so efficient. It's the ones that like show up to buy a stamp for the one letter. and you're like,
yeah.
you passed 16 gas stations and drugstores that sell stamps so that you can buy a book of stamps and wait in line.
My
COVID.
favorite are the young, and I'm going to say young women usually. No offense, Maxine.
Sexist Luke.
I know. I'm sorry. Young
It's
people. No, I'm sorry. It's usually young women. I'm sorry.
All right.
They go up and they have nothing ready. They just have a shirt. It's like, what do you got to put in a box.
Yeah.
You got to put a label on it. Like, where's it going? I seriously, somebody, and again, I'm sorry, a young person.
Yep.
Said,
Ageist.
yeah.
No, it's
a human being said, this needs to go somewhere. Like, where's it going? They said North Face. That's it. North Face. Like, oh my God.
Just write that on there.
I can't get over. I think it's like the epitome of like self entitlement of like people who don't know how to. It's like that last lingering thing in our society where like, no, you need to know how to go to the post office.
like that's one of those life skills that like balancing a checkbook or something. That,
exactly.
You should have a general idea of how it works, even
but
if
it's getting lost. Yeah.
My issue is the people in line for passports, because my post office also does passports, which is the equivalent to being in line behind the person that's getting scratch off tickets at the gas station. It takes forever and nobody's prepared again. And
Mine, like the one that does it in town, they like, you have to have an appointment, or they're just like, sorry, you have to like schedule this ahead of time.
Smart.
Take them out. Like there's no, they don't slow anyone down. Like they're in a separate area now. Like
they did finally start doing like a separate line for them, especially on holidays, because they're like, this is getting ridiculous. So,
But yeah, and by the way, if you show up and you need to use tape, you're paying for that tape. Like,
yeah.
And it's like $3 for like the shittiest little roll. Like,
it's so
2
thin.
inches of tape.
Yep.
So,
It's like barely enough to cover an entire label.
and don't be a scrub and take the boxes and then
use them for packing
material.
I hate that
Something
shit.
that's not.
I know.
That just makes all our costs higher. Don't do it.
I see that all the time too. Open something
Media
up,
mail
be
just
like,
went up. I was just complaining about it this week. Like September 1st or August 31st, it went up another 30 cents, which is not a lot, but like over 100 packages, it starts to add up. So
we are so lucky to be in a hobby where media mail is a thing. Like it would be a whole game changer if media mail.
Cheap discs wouldn't be cheap, period. Like you couldn't get like a disc for like $6 on eBay because it'd be like that much just to ship it. So we're media mail like subsidizes our hobby, which means you're gonna have mistakes and idiot hackers, but like if you're paying a lot for a disc, usually that doesn't happen. So like the cheap discs, if you break a $6 disc, it's not the end of the world because there's probably 20 more for $6. So
I like my local PO too, because they know about media mail and they don't fight me on it. Like everybody else always has to, get an argument with that guy who's like, oh, you can't use it.
Yeah. Well, if you just show up with your postage done, they don't even care. Like,
that's
not that like I don't follow the regulations, but like if you have your postage on it and you hand it to them, they're just like, want a receipt today or no? Yes or no. If I'm in
it was so nice coming back from Japan because I was dealing with military postal people. It's military guys, and they fought me. Like it was a pain every time. And then coming back here, San Diego, they're like, cool, okay, see ya.
Yep.
Out the door.
My post office at this point, like I have a new post office because I've moved, and the old post office used to be the most nightmarish post office, like the exact type of people that Luke described. That was everyone in line, and it was 20 deep when it opened at 9 a.m. So, and it's like they had passports at that one. They had everything going on and then some, and it would be lines out the door some days. And it's like, you can't even put a thing in the Dropbox because the Dropbox is so overflowing that the thing is stuck. And it's like that. I hated that. And then my actual like postman who would come to my place, like he's like, I have bad knees. I'm not coming up your stairs. Like, and I was like, okay, so I guess like this is more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And
like, that's your problem somehow that his knees are bad.
It's all, of course, it's all my problem. And it's like, So now my post office is like the nicest people ever. No one says anything. There's hardly ever a line more than like 3 people. And like, they know me. They know my glitter packages. They like,
Nice.
they have their box that if you don't want to see anybody, you just want to pop in, it's literally open like all the time. You can just drop a package in anytime you need. And it's always like, you can put it in the box. Like it's not overflowing. Like what
Sweet.
a concept. It's so nice, but I love packing the boxes. I'm way on that same vibe. Like
Love it.
it's therapeutic almost. It's so weird. Like I love doing the whole process of it. It's like
Wife
putting
hates
all
the sound of the tape though. She's like, she hates that sound. But so the other day at the post office, the mailman actually suggested media mail before I could say it.
Whoa,
Do media mail?
Wow,
Much
like,
cheaper.
that's impressive.
they normally
you're
don't
deep-
even like offer
yeah.
because then they have to explain it.
What's in their records? Okay.
Yeah.
Deep cut on our post office podcast here. I remember growing up, the House of Pain music video, Jump Around.
Yeah.
I think what's his face, Everclear or somebody is wearing a post office hat.
Mm.
And as a kid, I thought that shit was the coolest thing ever. And I wanted any kind of post office shirt or like anything. Never got one. I was like, oh, sucked. Anyway, that began my love of the post office, was that video.
It's also pain.
Jump around, jump up,
Yeah.
and get down. Yes. All right. I think that's the end of Hot Topics, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's move on to some physical media pickups that are non-LD related. Mine's going to be short. I didn't get too many things. I'm trying not to buy a lot of things while I'm unpacking. But I did grab a few things from the last Shout Factory Shout Select sale. No slips, sadly, because it's well past the slip period for a lot of these. But I got John Carpenter's Elvis. Still hadn't gotten that. Yeah. Kurt Russell in there, kicking ass. Old
Cool.
ABC television movie.
I haven't
But,
seen it. That's awesome.
And I have the LaserDisc, but of course I had to get Dudes, the special edition.
Nice.
Yeah, John Cryer, Daniel Roebuck, and Lee Ving, and Catherine Mary Stewart. It's just super cool. Also, I didn't have the Shout Select Wild at Heart,
Nice.
so now I have that. I forget which head wound this one has, if it has the censored one or the uncensored one. I'll have to check it later.
I think it's the censored one because
I think it
it's
is, right?
All the
Yeah.
basically like all the like masters are that way.
Yeah, so I think only my Korean one is uncensored. And Eagles of Death Metal, those are me when they went back to Paris to play after their concert was shot up that time, and they kind of went back for like a second coming kind of homecoming thing. So love Eagles of Death Metal. And then Luke sent a couple things because he was I don't know, finding things that people sent him on the boat, including for your consideration things. And both my wife and I are big fans of Netflix's Nailed It. So he sent me this cool little for your consideration Nailed It
I love that
gatefold.
show. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Chef Jacques.
He's
Yeah,
amazing.
so explain real quick. So we signed up for this like DVD to vets thing or something, and we just got boxes and boxes of these DVDs.
Yep.
And I would just open up and just steal all the good ones, and then whatever for the shitty ones.
That makes
And one guy sent all these for your consideration DVDs. So yeah.
Which
I mean,
is
it makes
awesome.
sense. You're in the business, and that you get like piles of these
Yeah.
things every year, and it's like, oh, cool, I can actually donate them and make some guy on a ship happy, and then he
Yeah.
can give it to his schlub civilian
was-
friend when he gets
That
home.
was the whole plan, I'm sure. Yeah. And they were actually very good on the ship because we do not have Netflix or any streaming, anything. So we get these discs, and they were, actually useful.
And this one you mentioned I was like to get too, just because I really like this show a lot, and the packaging is way cool on it. But The Haunting of Hill House, definitely very different than the book and their version of The Haunting. But I love that kind of like little digibook thing, and it's just cool. It's got all the different little pages, and it's
Is
just
that the whole
badass.
series or just part of it?
Yeah, this one's actually the whole series, I think. So
Because aren't some of them just random, like three
Yeah, like,
random episodes?
Nailed It is like four episodes. So yeah,
Hmm.
of course, if you get Netflix, you can watch the whole damn thing, which of course, yeah, we did. But it's just fun to have a little teaser there. But yeah, this one's nice. So I'll have to find another sailor to send me the Bly Manor one. See what I can do. Yeah. Thanks, Luke.
Vinny's the Navy expert apparently. So
Yeah, he knows all about it. And I did get one record. The Gimme Metal Vinyl Club sent me the new. There was a Yob record, and I looked in my piles over there. I can't find it. It actually showed up while we were moving, and my mom almost stepped on it because the postal guy like dropped it on the front step, and she just thought it was like random trash cardboard. And I was like, "Oh no, I wasn't expecting that. That's a metal record. Let me bring that inside." So it survived.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I don't know where it is. What do you got, Ryan?
I got a few things. Started off Dollar Tree again. Like every month, I swear, there's like a period you just show up and they have stuff for $1. So here's some things I got for $1. Everfall. It's got Joe Perry, but probably not the guitar player. It was a Blu-ray and $1. It looks interesting.
Who's the actress there? She looks familiar.
Jessica McLeod.
Maybe not.
Yeah. I got Original Gangster with Steve Gutenberg.
Wow.
No idea, but he's got what looked to be guns, and there's more guns on the back. So
Yeah.
Gutenberg is a timeless action name. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of timeless, The Redeemed with Joe Estevez.
Oh my gosh, best of
Yeah.
us.
That's like a church gun. Like
church gun.
come on.
Yeah. Pew
Oh,
pew.
Yeah. I slumped it with a DVD here, Terror Tales. I think it's like an anthology. I don't recognize any of these people. Apparently they were in movies, but they weren't stars ever. So, and then a double feature horror collection, Pulse and Sick Nurses. It was nice to buy this for $1 at Dollar Tree. The old lady checking me out definitely thought I was weird.
Is that the U.S. remake of Pulse? I take it.
I don't think so.
That's the original Japanese. Cool.
Yeah, it says Cairo. I'm pretty
Nice.
sure it's the Japanese one.
That's
Oh.
cool. That's a great flick.
And then I forgot I ordered this because I ordered it right when it like was announced and was like on a super sale because that place in the sky that sends discs really fast.
Mhm.
I've heard of that place.
Sundown.
Oh.
It's got David Carradine and Bruce Campbell.
Nice.
This is actually
Oh.
the second copy I ordered because the first one never made it. It somehow hit the point of transferring to the postal service and then didn't. So like I finally noticed that I had a shipment that wasn't shipped and I had them send another one. So I got that sweet slipcover. So
AC.
do dirty things to that.
and then I did buy one DVD I'd been watching on eBay trying to find a cheap copy for a while. Going back to the John Rhys Davies days. Anacondas, Trail of Blood. This is like Anaconda 5 or something.
Damn.
It's got John Rhys Davies, so he's gonna make the movie right there.
Yeah. Because they paid for that star quality.
Luke sent me some DVDs. A Batman,
Oh, cool.
Gotham Knight,
Nice.
really cool.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
He sent me a Criterion, but it was Chasing Amy, so I'll allow it.
All right.
But this is my first Criterion that's not on LaserDisc because
Really?
Really?
That is-
Wow.
I
This is
don't.
the most common Criterion DVD. You will
I'm
see-
sure it is, but and then he sent me an empty snapper case. So
Just a snap.
yeah, but it's a snapper, so yeah, I got that going on. For
Was
me.
that Malcolm McDowell on that?
There might be, but
Well, the face kind of looked like it.
So, okay. All right. Let me explain real quick. So I'm pretty sure when I bought that, there was a DVD in there. That might be in my car somewhere, but I haven't looked.
In your DVD player in the car. Yeah.
There is. I do have a DVD player in the car. I don't
For the
know
kids, right?
what
Yeah.
No, it's for like only when the car is parked can I watch a DVD in the car.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I hear there's
And
like,
Yeah,
I'll do that.
you gotta mod that.
our friends at Vinegar Syndrome, which we haven't talked about enough yet. Vinegar
Yeah.
Syndrome.
Quite.
people
Tell
with
me
the
about
sweet
Vinegar
stickers.
Syndrome.
I got my monthly subscription and
Nice.
they knocked it out of the park again. Like I feel like the year kind of started a little slow. There were some good titles and some like, these are okay. But we got Terminal Island here.
Ooh,
Nice.
And this one is 4K and Blu-ray. So
Ooh, look at that.
it's sweet release.
Oh, we're just like Criterion. Got that.
Yeah, but Vinegar Syndrome did it way before Criterion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Criterion's copying.
Auntie Lee's Meat Pies. With
Yes.
the amazing back slipcover.
hell yes.
If you've seen this movie, the slipcover makes sense, and it's got Pat Morita, so
Damn.
can't go wrong there. A Canon Films reissue, so it's got the Canon Group sweet logo and everything.
That's
Tough
cool.
Guys Don't Dance. It's really nice packaging again. Like they
Oh.
just they nailed it this month, and not done. This one really, like when I saw it was announced, I got excited. It's Whatever It Takes with Fred Williamson and Don the Dragon Wilson and Andrew Dice Clay.
Damn.
Wow.
This is in their VSA. This is number 16. So their
Wow.
VSA is like video store staples that like may not have ever gotten like the mainstream like it deserves. So it's got like a nice hard wood cover. They always
Wow.
come with a poster, and then you got the Blu-ray itself. So the line has been spectacular for them. It's not like a consistent like every month, but every month it seems like they like try to one up themselves. And I mean, you got so much star power on this cover that
Yeah.
it can't be bad. And then some of their partner labels had some really cool stuff this month. So finish up with those. We got Girl School Screamers, which looks amazing.
Is that a pitchfork?
Sorry, what was that?
Was that a pitchfork on there?
That was just a regular fork.
Just big.
Oh.
It's a big fork. Or a tiny
Oh, it's a
girl.
real
I
big
think it was a
fork.
regular
Never
fork,
mind.
yeah. Or maybe it's a pitchfork. I don't
That's
know.
pitchfork. That's pitchfork.
And then we got Commando Ninja,
Oh my
Mm.
god.
Oh.
which is a newer movie made to kind of feel like older movies. So
Wow.
really cool. I think this is from Enjoy the Ride. So they do all those cool records.
Nice.
Enjoy the Ride. This is their like movie label that they've started. Got Psycho Sisters, which is a
Wow.
regional slasher, I believe. It might have been even like shot on video. This is Saturn's Core who did this. They do some really weird stuff. And then one more. I got the Fun City edition of Walking the Edge with the replacement disc, which was nice.
Ooh.
So this is trying to remember who's in this. Robert Forster is in this. So
Nice.
really looking forward to that. So
Rest in peace.
kind of a really early, edgy, badass film that one of their partners put out. And then I have one more thing that's not movie related, and that's a record.
What?
So this little metal band, they came out with an album today. They've been around for a few years. Iron Maiden. I don't know if
Oh, I've heard of them. Yeah. They're obscure, but
yeah, they're
good.
like just under like popular.
yeah. Sure.
They had a Walmart exclusive. It was a red vinyl. And so I went to my Walmart and I'm like, hey, do you have this? And so the lady's like, I don't know. Let me ask somebody. And they like go check and they like bring out some boxes. And she like pulls out the record and the shrink is just like mangled and like coming off. I say, hi.
Ah, hey there.
Hey.
I've got my little record spinner here. It's
Nice.
really good with handling them.
You kind of dressed like Chucky. Anybody knows
But
that?
Yeah.
so like the shrink, by the time she like handed it to me, she's like, how do I ring this up? And the other guy's looking at her like, you just tore the shrink off. I'm like, I don't care. So
Yeah.
she didn't like screw up the record at all, but it was like the shrink came off before I even got it. But this is the Walmart exclusive red vinyl that like you can't find. Like
Nice.
if you missed the pre-order window, it was just gone.
Hmm.
And my store happened to get a copy in, and like, so I did save the shrink just to prove it. But it's a beautiful triple vinyl.
Yeah.
The like whole gatefold like spreads out and makes this really cool like sequence. You'll have to look it up, like or you know what? Screw, I'll show it off.
Book of Souls was like that too. It was huge.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like red and black marble. There it is.
Nice.
I kept that. Like normally I wouldn't keep that on a trifold, but like because it's an exclusive version,
And you love stickers.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind them. But
Yeah.
there we go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Look
And
at
then like each vinyl even like it's really cool how they've done it, which I'm going to get fingerprints on this, but who cares? So you've got like
Oh, sick.
Eddie side and then like the cool stylized like lyric side, and then you got the vinyl. So
Yeah, it's tasty.
I lucked out. I got super lucky. They probably weren't even supposed to get one in because it was like sold out. You can't find it even listed on their website. So kudos to the Walmart lady for not destroying it as it was like taped to the box she was pulling it out of. But that was my only vinyl pickup, which you know, seems pretty sweet, I guess.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you stole somebody's pre-order. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. He pushed some old lady out of the way and
I
grabbed
have
her.
the receipt
record.
and I left with it, and I'm not going back. So hopefully not, but you know, they wouldn't have known because they're supposed to ship the pre-orders to people when they're a certain value. They don't want the store screwing up and selling it to me. But yeah, they only got one. So.
Cool. So I have not. Is it my turn? Or my turn?
Yeah, it's you.
So I've not been buying much LaserDisc recently. I actually only have vinyl. I've kind of shifted gears a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm gonna, buy more records.
You're like Mr. DJ now, so.
Well, yeah, it's
a good investment.
Yeah. So I have a stack of records real quick. Some pretty, whatever. I'm just going to show you what I got. I don't care if you know about it or not. So there you go. This first one is a guy named David Jackman. He's a English avant-garde. It's this 10-inch avant-garde record. It's just basically like drones, like almost it's classified as non-music. He was very prolific like in the 90s and just churning out records of just like craziness. And this one is fun. And I mean, it's super artsy. I love it. The first side is like some drone, but the second side is like legitimately the sound of an airplane going over your head. And I almost thought like, oh, is that actually no, it's from the record. Next one, I got some jazz, some Anthony Braxton, 5 pieces, 1975. It's pretty cheap. Looks like a dog.
Oh yeah.
Right out of it. Anthony Braxton was kind of alto sax, I'm pretty sure, and he was thought of as like the next Coltrane, the next big guy. He's not as crazy as I want him to be. I like my jazz just like balls out crazy, but he's good.
Nice jacket, though.
This one I picked up today because we were talking about the Beach Boys recently, and Seth said his favorite Beach Boy album was Love You. So I picked this guy up. And I asked the person at the record store, like, what do you think of this album? She's like, it's drug-induced crazy. It's great. So it's just, very drug. They were just high as fuck when they made this one.
Now we know why Seth loves it.
Yeah, because he's a good one.
Big old. Say what?
It's not one of my favorites, to be honest. Like,
it's because you're not on nitrous like Seth.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Like,
You're on nitrous and you'll enjoy
it. When you think about Beach Boys albums, you got like the early surf ones, and then you have like Pet Sounds, and then you have the crunchy stuff where they were too cooked. Like
crunchy stuff. I do not listen to. Growing up, my dad loved the Beach Boys. He only listened to surf stuff. I hate the fucking surf stuff. Pet Sounds past. Anything that's like real. It doesn't say California Girl something. It's great. And I don't know. I did listen to a little bit of this, and it wasn't as crazy as I was hoping it would be.
I went to a water park as a kid, and they just had the Beach Boys surf music playing nonstop all day. So I think that one day burnt me out on them for the rest of my life.
But they're like two different bands though. Like the surf stuff is whatever, Pet Sounds, and then I'm serious. Like Surf's Up, even though it's not, it's good. There's some really good ones out there, and then I like the Dennis Wilson albums are really good. I just picked up Bamboo. I think I showed that last time, but then also, Pacific. Oh fuck, I'm losing. Anyway, they've got good stuff, is what I'm trying to say.
Kokomo, obviously.
Which one has Stamos on it?
No. You know what? I'm done.
Which one has Stamos? Stamos is the.
Okay. Yeah, what guys?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
This podcast is over.
Maxine hasn't said anything. She's cool. The rest of you guys suck. Okay.
Yeah, but she hates stickers.
I don't hate stickers. I have 7 collections of stickers from when I was a kid. I love
Damn it.
All right, so
Slander.
these next records, this is a collection I have been looking at, and I was just like, I'm going to go for it. And they're, yeah, so to explain this, back in the 90s, late 90s, this was a label called Revenant Records, and it was this, I don't even know how to explain it. So do you remember, have you seen the big box set, the Paramount Records box set? It's like a briefcase that Third Man put out or whatever, and it's like all these old 78s.
No.
Revenant like half put that out with them. So it's Revenant and Third Man. So these, I mean, anyway, this first one is Harry Smith Archive, Harry Smith's Anthology of American Folk Music Volume 4. Back in the 50s, this guy, Harry Smith, was super big into 78s. He was this huge collector. He collected all these 78s when everyone else thought they were trash. And he put out this volumes 1 through 3 on Smithsonian, and they're amazing. Like they're the best at 78, the best old timey music you will ever hear in your life. And there was a volume 4 that never got released. And this record label, Revenant, got the rights to do it over fucking the Smithsonian. You know, it's kind of crazy. This is just beautiful. This was late 90s they put this out. It's 2 records, but it has a triple, you know.
Oh, damn.
Just,
Wow.
it's great. I had the CDs growing up, you know, and it's almost silly to get the records because it's all like digital, you know.
Like digital version of a 78 transferred,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
33 1/3.
But they're just so beautiful. Like, and they're all like clear. This was,
Ooh.
and back in the 90s, they're just so ahead of their time, I think.
Looks like that LaserDisc you got, Maxine.
The see-through one.
The see-through one that Joe sent you.
It totally does.
So I got that one. I got there's another one, Albert Eiler's Holy Ghost, which is a alto sax. He was around the same time as Coltrane and Pharoah Sanders. There's a nice quote that says, "Train was the father, Pharoah was the son, and I was the Holy Ghost."
Oh, nice.
Just, I mean, he's balls out crazy. Like, he's just great. Like, he's just going to town. There's a great picture on here with like him and Don Cherry. Like, they're playing, you probably can't see it, but it's just like Don Cherry just stops. He's like, "What are you doing? Like, what is going on right here?" I love it. I love it. Another one, Stanley Brothers, old country guys. You know, this was like early Stanley Brothers. Again, just, it's phenomenal stuff. And last one is a Doc Boggs. Yeah, I was in high school listening to this shit, like on CD. It's so weird thinking back. Like, I was in high school listening to Doc Boggs, and because it's a guy on a banjo. Like, it's really good. Like, he's amazing. Like, he sings what's the song? Oh, fuck. Polly
Kokomo.
What? No, fuck off. Shut up.
John Stamos.
Yeah.
He sings
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Pretty Polly, that, you know, Nirvana did. You know?
Oh, yeah,
These
yeah.
guys are super influent. You know, anyway, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to another podcast. We'll talk about this later.
Joking about me.
I have one record left that I need to get. I can't find on Discogs, and actually, it was in my cart, and I woke up one morning and it was gone. So, you motherfucker. But more in the mail, and I will show you later because I know you really care. So
We do, deeply. We care so much Trevor left.
I hate you guys.
We love you too.
Okay. That's it. That's all I got.
You got anything, Max?
Well, I'm going to hold my hands up and tell you about what I had.
Boing.
Oh, well, also on the Beach Boys kick,
Really?
I found
John Stamos.
I found the Christmas album.
Ah, nice.
And it was in shrink wrap, and I don't know if I have that or not, so I just got it because it was $1 at a yard sale.
That was a family staple in my house. I had to hear that in the Muppets album like every year.
Yeah, the same people had like 2 volumes of Chipmunks, which I considered, but I was like, I probably have.
I've got one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't get that, but I got the one. It was in really good condition, so I got it. But it's Christmas and it's Beach Boys, you know. Run, Run, Reindeer, can't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then I got a DVD
Ooh.
for the upcoming season in my house. Right now, it's September Ween, guys.
Oh,
So
starting early?
I start in September because I don't get enough. So I got my favorite, because I don't have none of those Disney streaming things. So I watch them on DVD, but I got my favorite Under Wraps is the Disney Channel original movie from I want to say it's like 94, 95, somewhere in
Oh,
there.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it's so the little DVD right there. But it's probably a bootleg DVD, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you can watch it for free on YouTube. It's on there, but it's a insanely cool. It's like it starts off with a movie within a movie, and he loves this franchise that's like basically Jason Voorhees, like, if we're being serious. But it's like they do this movie within a movie, and it's other parents from other Disney Channel TV shows or like movies in this like fake movie within a movie. And then the whole concept is just he loves horror movies, and they find like an Egyptian and the moon shines on him, and then the mummy comes to life.
Yeah.
And it's just like their wacky adventures, and they have like an adult friend, and he's like childlike, and he owns like a prank shop, and it's just like it's just one of the most solid movies. I watch it every year. It's my favorite. And I had made a burn from the YouTube on a DVD, and that's been my like what I've been rolling with for a while. So when I saw like this like bootleg upgrade, hopefully, I was like, yeah, I had to get that. And it was not expensive. It was on eBay. So
Score.
But, yeah, super score. That's that Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus is at least on LaserDisc, but everything else was just like, it didn't get a release, even hardly on, like, he didn't get VHS, it barely got DVD.
I recently watched Hocus Pocus for the first time, and I'm here to say that I loved it. I loved Hocus.
I saw it for the first time like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I loved it because those witches were so bad. Like, they were legit wanted to kill children. They did not water it down or anything for Disney. It was, I really liked it.
It's a really, really good one. That is top of the list for sure. Under Wraps, Hocus Pocus, and then the franchise of Halloween Town. Like, you just want to live in Halloween Town. It makes such a place that you're like, this feels like a place. Like, and I heard that they have like recreated it as a place you can visit, as like, I don't know if they're still doing that now, but I have seen photos of the big giant pumpkin in the like Times Square kind of looking thing, or the main street type of thing. So yeah, Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town, Under Wraps, they hold a place in my heart this time of year.
Nice.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Trevor, you got anything non-LD?
Yeah, I got a couple things that showed up in the Broterian box and a couple Dollar Tree. And the first one is one second.
Okay.
Brotherhood of Justice. Which
Wow.
is an 80s Keanu Reeves movie.
I was gonna say that's a way old movie.
when you buy the thing at Dollar Tree, they just
it looks like John Wick.
Yeah, that's to make you buy it. It's a 80s movie with him and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, a bunch of dudes, right? Yeah.
Yep. But it also has 7 bonus movies.
Yeah. That's a good pack.
Including The Wild Ride with Jack Nicholson, apparently.
Okay.
Ministry of Vengeance, which has a Duke boy, John Schneider. Forever Mine, which has Joseph Fiennes, Ray Liotta, and Gretchen Mol. Confessions of a Police Captain with Frank Nero. A Dangerous Place with Ted Jan Roberts.
Damn.
Demolition High, Corey Haim.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And Street
$1.
Corner Justice with Mark Singer and Bryan Cranston. So 8 movies.
Wow.
Man.
Not John Wick for $1.
Wow.
Yep.
Incredible.
And then, this one, Dead Ant.
Oh, nice.
Which I've not seen, but it had Tom Arnold, Jake Busey, and Sean Astin in it. The Spinal Tap meets Tremors, and it has a giant ant on the cover. So that was another one from the Dollar Tree. And then these showed up in the Broterian box. Geisha of Death and Ring of Fire 3 Lion Strike with Don the Dragon Wilson, and Blackjack with Dolph Lundgren.
Is that
Ooh.
Maria Ozawa? Isn't she a porno actress
Let's
or
hope so.
ex-porno
Luke would
actress?
know.
Yep.
Luke.
Luke would know.
Oh, shut up.
Is there any?
Yeah, you were in
dong
Japan.
hanging
You
in
watched
this?
a lot of. Yeah,
Is there any blurred out hanging dong?
there might be. We should check.
Luke would know.
Luke would know.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of hang dong, Suburbia,
Hangs
Giovanni
dong?
Ribisi hangs dong. Okay, that's it.
And then a magnet release of Officer Down.
Oh,
And
Cool
if
cover.
you look at the back here, I don't see. Look
It
at
looks
that.
like
There's a nun with a shotgun. Looks like a flying
with a cross
nun.
on her face.
Yeah.
Like it.
It's high quality there.
With slipcover.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's definitely gonna slip. This one came from the a DVD I found at the thrift store. I didn't do much looking through the DVDs, but look at these floating heads. One of them being Rutger Hauer,
God.
but Beyond Justice.
With
Amazing.
Carol Alt.
This
Yeah.
ex-CIA agent Rutger Hauer is hired by a wealthy American lady, Carol Alt, to rescue her son. He's been kidnapped to Morocco and is in the custody of his tycoon Arab grandfather, Omar Sharif. Lots of explosive action and international intrigue.
Is that Elliot Gould who like didn't get any?
Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe,
But-
maybe he's not really in the movie.
He's just a
I don't
floating
know.
head.
Yeah.
Looks like Long Kiss Goodnight Goodbye.
looks bootleggy.
It,
I love it.
it
It's
definitely
crazy.
does, but it was actually even half off of their price. I think I paid 50 cents for it.
Wow.
A dollar's too much.
It was.
And then I don't know why I'm going to show this. I saw it. This is just like the local radio station. This guy calls up and does phone scans in the morning.
Nice.
It's Mojo in the morning. But what got me on it is this has the 500th phone scan, and this is volume 11. So they made 11 of these motherfuckers, and people keep buying them, and they keep making them.
You got to get complete.
Oh my
And
god.
now they're at the fucking thrift store.
Yeah.
And you guys know I have a passion for vinyls, so
Yeah.
I picked up one record. I picked up more, but you guys will find them as packing material when I finally see you guys unpack them. Hank Williams Jr. Rowdy.
Ah.
Ooh.
But that's what a man looks like right there.
Yeah.
Look at
I
that.
see him.
2 women's, a bottle of liquor, some beer on the table.
Does it have all my
Yeah,
rowdy
that-
friends are coming over tonight?
Oh yeah.
No, it has Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way and Tennessee River, Ramblin' Man. But
Still a good
when
one.
I saw that, I had to buy it.
Amazing.
So, and I believe that's it for my non-LD pickups. So,
Excellent. All right. Good choices, everybody. All right. Let's do, I guess, recommendation. Non-LaserDisc recommendation. I haven't been watching too much because I've been mostly going to sleep really, really early, but I did watch, I haven't watched a Blu-ray or DVD in a while because none of that stuff's hooked up. But I did watch the new Bob Ross documentary, which is called Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Betrayal, and Greed, which is interesting because I watched the official, PBS Bob Ross documentary, which is, all sunshine and flowers. And this one's got his son and a lot of his friends from back in the day. They kind of paint a little different picture, not as many fluffy clouds. Bob's still the cool guy that everybody says he is. If you've never seen this show before, he was protege of this one other dude guy I used to watch who was like an angry German painter who kind of taught him his wet paint technique, where you use like a kind of wet kind of wash on your canvas, and then you can paint really fast with oils and everything doesn't cake up and everything. So you can just get crazy and paint happy little trees and majestical mountains and everything like that. And he was the godfather of ASMR. He had the super calm voice, and this says he created that kind of thing because the guy that he learned from was this crazy shaman who would fire at him. So he had to kind of go the opposite way. So it was like a Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan thing. His thing was like, I got to be the opposite of that dude. But then along the way, he partnered up with an ex-CIA operative and his wife. And they took over his whole career and marketed him with the big fro that he wanted to get rid of, the perm. but they ran everything, and then when he passed away, they tried to get his son to sign over his entire likeness and life to them, and he didn't want to do it, and they ended up doing it anyway. So yeah, it's really interesting. So it's fun. If you love Bob Ross, you got to check it out. But it is a little bit of a bummer that these people kind of now own the Bob Ross empire, and they ripped off a few other people along the way too. But apparently they're no good.
Plus his son.
Do they talk about
Yeah.
Do they talk about how you can't buy any of his paintings? I remember looking into that once.
Yeah, the other documentary talked about that a little bit more. Because he would do multiples of each one. He would have a reference one, and then I think he would paint it twice when they filmed one for close-ups. But yeah, his whole concept was that he didn't want them to be sold, so they're just kind of archived and hung in some big studio somewhere, some storage room somewhere, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
There might be some questionable copies out there that they might have sold for money.
Yeah,
in the originals.
And they were talking about they were marketing all the Bob Ross paints and stuff like that, and they were using less than quality materials after a while, and it gets pretty sketchy. So
yeah, because he was a stickler. He's they got to be Weber paints. They got to be the certain things. They have to be quality. He's I don't want to sell anything that's garbage. I don't want people to buy something just because it has my on it.
Yeah.
And now that's the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, it's messed up, man. But it's cool hearing from his son and some of his other colleagues, and the people that paint the flowers, they were kind of not competitors of his or whatever, but they got kind of ripped off by this weird couple too along the way.
They got put out of business by him.
Yeah, it was messed up. So yeah, sketchy stuff. Watch out who you do business with. Or do podcasts with.
Yeah.
Just saying. What about you, Ryan? What's your recommendation?
Well, I did a comparison between Manborg and Sheborg.
Who wins?
Sheborg.
Well, Sheborg did have the better wrestling clothesline sequences. Manborg was
he hang
the
dong?
better story. No.
All right.
This is not a Luke film.
No dong on Borg.
The other good thing about
Dong
Manborg
Borg.
is it was 72 minutes, and that's with the BioCop faux trailer feature at the end. So the movie was barely broke the 1 hour mark, and then you throw on the BioCop trailer, which was also good. But I have to say, if you can find Manborg for $1, this one was a Dollar General special. It's better than the $1 you'll spend on Sheborg, which was kind of a low budget British film, but did have some nice clothesline sequences from the ladies. So, but Manborg wins.
All right. Good choice.
Sad to say that I've heard of Manborg, but it's supposed to be one of the worst movies ever. So anyway, I watched two things. I watched a great documentary on Netflix called Pray Away, which is about homosexuals who were in the
Conversion.
Yeah. And it had these people who actually were leading it, who led it, and they have since or feel terrible about it. But it was a great documentary. But just thinking about that, these people legitimately were Christian people who wanted to be closer to God. I'm not a religious person, but no shame, whatever with that. And their church said, hey, there is something fundamentally wrong with you, and you need to pray that away. I was like, you can't even compare that to anything. That's insane.
And they tried to do it.
Say what?
And they tried to actually.
They did it. These. There's one guy who was married with kids for years and years. They said, you don't have to be attracted to all the women. You just have to be attracted to one woman. It's God damn. Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. The other thing I watched, I want to Only Murders in the Room in the building. Only in the building. The Hulu show, Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez, which you don't think that would work, but it works. She's great. They're great, of course. And only the first 3 episodes have come out so far. It's a great. I really enjoyed it. It's the first thing I've enjoyed recently. That anyway, yeah,
nice.
I recommend all those things. What you got, Max?
Well, I have been watching RuPaul's Drag Race All Star Season 6,
Nice.
which just literally yesterday they crowned a winner. So I've been watching the heck out of that. Love that show. And then I was watching on Netflix. There's this interesting kind of like partly history, partly like dramatized. It's called The Lost Pirates of the Caribbean. And it was kind of like a mini series. It was really good. Like it's all of the kind of like big name people, like what they were doing and how they like how Blackbeard became Blackbeard. And then like backed by actual people who've written books about pirates. And then like that's kind of like in between, like describing scenes, and then they'll have acted scenes that are like done really well and like are really entertaining and like dramatic kind of vibe. And they have like a bunch of boat scenes and like some, you know, cannon scenes, and just it was overall like really enjoyable and kind of just a whole different vibe than I've kind of been watching. So I liked that.
Nice.
Recommend it.
What do you got, Trevor?
I watched a few things, but one of them just out of the blue. I had watched the first season and didn't realize that the second season was out. But on Apple TV, I've been watching Mythic Quest with what's his name, Mac from Always Sunny.
Oh, nice.
They're like the creators of like a World of Warcraft type game, and it's got Rickety Cricket. He's in there.
Nice.
And, I think those are the only two from Always Sunny, but basically it's them creating this massively multiplayer online role-playing game, and he's like the idea man and has his creators, and they're fighting with people, and he's a perfectionist, and he just comes up with random shit, and they got to make it for him. If you've not watched it, check it out. It's really funny.
Nice.
And then the other one is Vinny told me to tell you guys to watch AEW Wrestling because CM Punk is back.
Oh, he's a big fan. Yeah.
He's listening to him on sports radio.
Yeah.
Everything. So he's recommended AEW Wrestling. I'll recommend it too.
I think Vinny's got some wrestling tattoos too, if I remember correctly.
He
Yeah.
does.
And
TJ
Vinny's
Strong
really
Dog.
looking forward to AEW coming to the tri-state area. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's gonna
He
be
wanted me to meet him there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
This
so.
is root beer wrestling, A&W wrestling. So
A&W. Yeah.
A&E. It's on A&E. A&E.
Yeah.
A&W.
Arts and Entertainment. Yep.
Hey.
CM Punk's back.
Probably you. So we talk a lot. You probably watch the most of anybody, Trevor. You watch a lot of stuff. Like you and the wife are big streamers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
I thought he was throwing shade there. I wasn't sure what.
No,
this was
not at
going.
all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
okay, all right.
You guys. Yeah, I wish I'd watched more.
All right.
Yeah, you guys watch a lot.
I got a bad back, so it kind of keeps me in the house lately. So all
Wish
we're
I had
doing
a
is
bad
streaming.
back. Wish.
I'm probably gonna have 3 months off of work here soon from it. So.
Oof.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't have anything from Shudder to talk about. But
Oh, my wife actually, she doesn't even watch Shudder, but somebody told her about a movie. She's like, "Do we still have Shudder?" I was like, "Yeah, we still have Shudder.
of course, we have
We
Shudder.
gotta support him. We gotta support Joe Bob."
Yeah.
What his Halloween special? What's going to be on it? Has he released that yet, or still?
Oh, they just released the date, and it's called the Halloween Hoedown, and it's early October. So I'm sure there'll be people. They're always like trying to predict what movie it is by little hints that him and Darcy put online. So
What are we, like a couple weeks away at least from hints?
So it,
yeah, well, by the time this comes out, it'll already have happened. So,
2022 October. Yep.
yeah, we'll be on the
movies this
Christmas
time. They're
one.
going to change it up. They're going to put scary movies.
For reference, it's September 3rd.
Cut that out.
Yeah.
Edit that
Yeah.
out.
I'll just dub it.
It's
It's
right now. It's
you're just gonna hear Seth's voice saying whatever date this actually comes out.
It is December 15th. Yeah, we need more Seth's face. We didn't have any nudity to cover up this time. So
He
Give
needs
me
to
hang dong real quick.
talk about the new ABBA record.
Yeah, we got to talk some ABBA. We'll get him back at some point. It's really late for him.
Yeah,
Macho Man
Steph-
in there.
Didn't realize that I wasn't joking about the new ABBA.
There's new ABBA. Yeah.
New ABBA.
Shout out to Seth.
Yes.
Shout out Seth. Oh yeah, I had another shout out I was going to mention. I was talking to Ryan earlier. A friend of mine who has a YouTube channel called Burbex just tripped across a bunch of LaserDisc stuff in a hotel because I've been watching his channel for years. Burbex was originally Beijing urban exploration because he would run around the city, but now he lives in Shanghai. So now it stands for Brin's Urban Exploration because that's his name. But he's got a lot of really cool stuff, and he sneaks into all sorts of parts of China and gets into trouble. And yeah, it's a great channel, so you should check it out. But one of the first times I ran into him is because he was in Japan and he found a bunch of LDs that were really messed up in old. I think it was a hotel outside of like the Suicide Forest area. So he didn't take any of those, but this time he ran into like a bunch of Taiwan Brotarian stuff that was all like fairly minty. And he showed me like a bunch of flip videos of all these things. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So now he's got a Pioneer player and it seems to be fired up and everything. So yeah, go check out his
Give him
channel.
Ryan's address.
I gave him my address, so I wanted to have some trade fodder for Ryan because yeah, finally I'd have something he wants. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so we'll see if he ends up keeping any of that stuff. I'll have to keep in contact with him when he might watch some of them and be like, "This is hot garbage.
What is wrong with you Americans?
Why do you guys collect this stuff?" Yeah, so check out Burbex. It's cool.
And Steve Perry.
And Steve Perry, yeah,
And Steve Perry.
he's high quality. He'll always psych you out. Final thoughts and some spins and stuff. I don't know what I'm spinning next because I still don't have any of my players connected. They're in racks, so they're next to being connected. But I mean, I've got like all these hundreds of discs, and every day I look at a new one and go, "Oh man, I really want to watch that." So I have no idea which one's going to be the first. So I can't lie. I don't know. What's up next for you, Ryan?
I don't know. Like, I got some really cool Vinegar Syndrome stuff I got to get through, and don't get COVID. I can tell you that.
All right, cool.
Just maybe from personal experience, but like, I had plans of watching like a bunch of Blu-rays last week and a bunch of LaserDiscs this week, and I watched 2 movies this week. And, I watched 2 last week, so it was. And normally I'm watching a movie a night or a movie and a half or something. So yeah, don't get sick, don't get COVID.
Well, you look and sound pretty good, so good job.
Yeah, I was worried that like I might have some like carryover, but I made it through. I think the noon whistle was good at wetting my whistle. So check them out. They're out of the
Sweet.
Northeast.
Excellent. Speaking of Vinegar Syndrome, didn't they just announce that they're doing some film distribution now? They have like their own imprint, including that New York Ninja movie. It looks awesome.
Yeah, like it's unfinished. It was unfinished from the 80s.
Yeah.
And, like they had like no sound elements or anything, so they had to recreate all of the sound
With
so they
quality
brought in,
actors.
on the Dragon Wilson and Cynthia Rothrock, and just literally it's all gas. The trailer is up for it, and you're just like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. But it's original footage that they finally are like putting out.
Yeah, and they had to edit together and everything. And they got another one too. I think it's like a British like BBC
the
censorship
modern
movie.
film.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
So it's going to be really cool. But
Go Vincent.
again, it's even more to try and like keep up with because they're insane. Like their
Yeah.
partners are just getting better, and like the stuff that the partners are coming out with is awesome. And then on top of that, like their lineup has just been phenomenal. So
Yeah, I don't know how they keep up with what they're doing, but
yeah, plus like I don't know how these other labels are just like pulling out gold too. Like
yeah.
I don't know, like at some point I feel like they're going to run out, but it seems like they're just ramping up more and more instead. So who knows?
Yeah.
But
Well, it's never going to run dry.
let's hope not.
What are you watching next, Luke?
I don't know. I'll probably try to finish up the Sleuth, see what it's all about.
Nice.
We'll see.
Check for dong.
Check for Dawn.
Don't check.
Max.
I have a girls' night planned for literally tomorrow, and we're going to watch a bunch of LaserDiscs.
Nice.
And so it's going to be a movie marathon of all the good ones. Grease 2.
All right.
Yeah.
Watch Vision Quest.
How do your friends feel about your LaserDisc
Well, these
collection?
so I have half friends that their parents are the reason why I've even seen a LaserDisc.
Cool.
Okay.
They're very familiar with LaserDisc. They don't like care to collect them, but they
But they know.
like are like them, appreciate it. I'm basically bringing a LaserDisc player to this event.
Yep.
And then my other two friends, they're from like after I've had insane quantities of this, so they've known that I've had this pretty much our entire friendship. So they're totally cool with it. They all of them individually love movies in however they watch movies, and we all kind of like come together on similar tastes of things. Those, you know, the chick flicks and just girl movies.
Nice.
I have all of those, so we can watch those as a group. But yeah, I have one of the friends. I gave her a LaserDisc player, and so
That's a good friend.
now basically will have, like, if she sees ones that she's like, oh, this is cool, like she'll get them when she sees them. So that's my only friend that's also a girlfriend that has kind of mini LaserDisc collection.
Nice.
Does she
Damn.
borrow this? Does she come over and borrow stuff?
No, she lives too far away now, unfortunately. She was walking distance from me before, and now since I moved and she moved, we're now like an hour away from each other now. So
Damn.
she doesn't borrow stuff, but she used to. She used to borrow stuff.
Did you return them?
Yes, yes, she'll return
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, I used to hate my buddies who borrowed my disc back in the day.
Good
I
player.
would
Now
return her, but then
she'll
people wouldn't believe me that I was.
So
Like, are you gonna bring us back? Yes.
At least, like, you can find LaserDiscs in California. I think they show up from time to time.
nuts. I don't
So
know.
I hear.
I don't know.
One today.
Stores for them still.
Yeah.
Thrift stores.
Yes.
What are you spending, Trevor?
Oh, if I spin any actual LaserDisc, it will probably be something that came from Luke or Ryan, maybe
Mhm.
some skinny sumo guys, or maybe the one with
The cooking.
Chad McQueen and Joe Westwood. I do need to learn how to make mayonnaise because
That's honestly
everyone needs a good mayonnaise recipe.
the
If you make some fancy lemon shapes, let me know.
lemon shapes is pretty much where it's at.
Yeah.
Expect
I
a
mean,
tutorial next time you're on.
yeah, me and Maxeene are gonna have a Iron Chef showdown on
Oh
lemon
my
shapes.
gosh.
Ooh,
please,
cook off.
Let's do a freaking, we'll show the clip and then
Yep.
we'll show us both side by side, head to head, making fancy lemon shapes.
Secret ingredient is lemon.
Open
Uh,
the basket.
As soon as this is over, I'm gonna watch A&W Root Beer Wrestling and
Nice.
then maybe make some fancy lemon shapes and maybe watch some more Mythic Quest.
Nice.
So it's a whole ordeal.
Good deal. Thanks for joining us again. It's been too long.
I know I had that little dispute with you over the money. You're not giving me the payoffs that you're supposed to for being on the show.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes people don't even know about. So negotiations and yeah.
Plus, he brought in all those fans that night. Like, he filled the arena.
Yeah, I mean,
I
just
had to disappear. I competed in my 8th Kumite and won it. Broke the record for fastest kill.
yeah,
Record
dude,
was
man.
previously held by me, so
You
wasn't a
trained
bad
fast for
few
that
months
too.
off. I did. That's
Good
how I got the
montage.
bad back.
Yeah.
Playing hockey to the death. That's what they're doing.
Sudden death. I like it. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody, and talking laser discs.
Good time.
Thank you.